Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Beekler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And this is the Nerdrotic Nooner for Wednesday. It is November 7th, 2018. Hump Day. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Kato Roan, Mr. Roboto, Mary Ashmead and her wrench, Six Scale Combat, and Tommelfinger, Rob Biller, Sebastian Simonson, and who else is up here? And Kato Roan. Hello. And I got my own notification. This is a good day. It's a good day, everybody. No, not all the news is good, but we'll try to make it at least funny. Okay. So, of course, I try to be as positive as possible on the morning show because you got to start out your day positive, even though there's some stupid shit going on. But, it is positive to wade your way through bullshit, which is what we try to help you do. I mean, essentially, that's kind of what we do. We review a TV show. We try to save you time and money here. I know, and it's such a hard job watching all that TV. I don't know how we do it, but I get through my day somehow. I do. I really do. Don't forget to Tamarocks. Hail Tamarocks. Don't forget to lick that button, everybody, but make sure your keyboard is clean first. Excuse me. So it's very interesting. We got some very interesting news. Now I was going to do a video on this, but I think I don't know. I try to limit my Star Trek videos and I just did one. So please go check it out. It's on an older article, but I thought it was relevant. And it's called Star Trek Writers Go to Canon Boot Camp. And I think it kind of goes into the Doctor Who writers admitting they've run out of ideas. And I think it really exemplifies what's going on with our IPs right now. And yeah, please check out those videos. Good evening, Lamak. How are you? It's good morning here. It is currently 9:50 a.m. Although, yeah, you're not supposed to time your videos, but I'm not supposed to do long live videos anyway. So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And D. Newton, how are you? And Hoscat. Am I saying that right? What's up? It's always good to see Tamarocks. Frag Minion. Phaser cannon. Phaser cannon? Yes. That kind. No, not that kind of cannon. Although I'd like to point one at some people, just metaphorically speaking, of course. I don't want anything really bad to happen to anybody. Yes, I had a really strong cup of coffee today. Halam899 is here for the first time. Again. Hello, Halam899. How's it going? Tommelfinger. Yes, it was more like Canon Daycare. Oh, I should have named the video that. That is so much better, Tommelfinger. Sorry for clapping, folks. I know some of you might be driving or something like that. Oh, God. Yes, that is my Venture Brothers ring. Excuse me. So I have to start out the episode with a little gratitude. So, oh my God, I had his name and now it's gone. So we'll start out with the YouTubers I need to thank. So last night there was a high council. Okay. And the high council is usually like EVS, Geeks and Gamers, and World Class Bullshitters, three huge YouTubers, all like approaching 100,000 subs. Guys I have subbed to for a long time and been a fan of. I'm kind of quiet in the community. I just like to listen. I don't really take part in their chat as much as I should. But they have been very friendly to our friend Doomcock, and our channel, kind of in a roundabout way, got a huge shout out last night. So I need to thank Doomcock. Thank you, Doomcock. There was a super chatter, and I'll remember his name. I'm so sorry. Damn it, I'm so bad with that stuff. And I want to thank Jeremy. And because it was on his channel last night, Geeks and Gamer, and I wanted to thank Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, who I do support on Patreon, for shouting out our channel in a roundabout way. They talked about the Exozone and the possibility of like Jeff from World Class Bullshitters showing interest on wanting to come on the show. And fuck yeah, that's all I got to say. That, and all hail Doomcock, and that fired me up. So. Yes, and I was listening to it this morning, and I heard the shout out, and I almost, freaking fell off my treadmill when I was running on it. I was like, "What the hell?" That was so cool. So yes, thank you guys for shouting us out, and the guy who did the super chat, man, I will find your name out, and I will thank you personally and online once I remember it, because I'm sorry, the drugs in the 80s, man, they fucked my brain so hard. Oh, so yes, Jeff will do a Doctor Who podcast. I hope so. I sent him, I don't, hey, he's super busy. He's making a comic right now and stuff, but I sent him access to the Doctor Who episodes if he so chooses. I would love, I know he's a Doctor Who fan. I'd love to talk to him about it. Maybe we can get him on here. Maybe he'll come on our little teeny channel and we'll talk about Doctor Who. So yeah, the news of today is Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek responded to Midnight's Edge video through the shill Screenrant. And Screenrant is undeniably basically, and what we mean by shill is they're basically public relations for the company. And remember the days when the media used to be for us, to help us cut through bullshit. And well, at least that was the ideal of it. It's never really been like that. They've always been shills, okay, since day one. And they control the information. So they responded to Midnight's Edge video. Midnight's Edge was banned from the Star Trek group on Facebook, which will only help them. I mean, I'm sure they're very heartbroken by that. I think even Tom mentioned in Doomcock's chat yesterday that he was sarcastically heartbroken. I think it'll do nothing but good for the channel. It's not like you can't access it through other means anyway. So, god dang it, I should just remember to turn off my phone, which I'll do right now. And yeah, I just I thought it was very interesting that Screenrant immediately put out an article. So we'll get to it right now. This article. So one of the accusations made in Midnight's Edge documentary, and I know they dot their I's and cross their T's. They verify sources. They treat themselves like a news organization, unlike what we do here. They actually, before they come out and say something, they verify it and double and triple verify it. I know that for a fact. All right, so I don't think they would just come out and say something. We had a commenter saying, no, they got this wrong. They were so wrong about this because Netflix So the accusation they made was that CBS All Access had to pay for some of season 2. Netflix wouldn't pay for all of it, or it was a reduced rate. I don't remember it perfectly, but Screenrant came out with this right afterwards. So I'm thinking, because there's this response and it wasn't officially from CBS, and we'll get to this, that they pretty much hit close to home. That's just my guess, my speculation. All right. So Star Trek Discovery's budget reportedly paid for by Netflix, not CBS. Now, why would this article just come out of nowhere? Who was putting it out there that CBS had to pay for some of Star Trek Discovery season 2's budget? Midnight's Edge, nobody else. So we go through this article, and the key word here is reportedly. Okay, we got reportedly, and then we have two believed here, and these here we go. So Star Trek Discovery was initially seen as something of a gamble for CBS, although CBS launched All Access in 2014. It was typically been used to release reruns for popular shows. Discovery marked the beginning of the whole new strategy. The first original content released on the streaming service is proved to be a tremendous success. Although high rates of piracy reported, CBS confirmed it had generated record subscriptions. I will link to that later because I don't think they actually give any actual data on that. According to Variety, the average episode of Star Trek Discovery costs upwards of $8 million to produce. According to one of my sources, it is, I'll save myself here, alleged that it cost upwards of $10 million an episode, actually. And this is the one show I actually have a source on. I don't have sources. Susan has sources. Maybe Dennis says. I have one for one show, and I'm not allowed to say his name, so I don't really say a lot that he tells me. However, the latest report from Red Def, which is a site I've never heard of, suggests, keyword there, that CBS played a part move in order to finance it. Given the CBS All Access app is only available in the United States, they struck a deal with Netflix to distribute Discovery internationally. As Red Def explains, for example, Netflix is believed to cover more than 100% of the cost of CBS All Access Star Trek Discovery for the exclusive rights to the series in most non-US markets. Now, the key words here again are reportedly and believed. So Screenrant is trying to word this through CBS, allegedly. This is my speculation that this is a response to Midnight's Edge video, and basically saying that that this isn't a gamble at all. Okay. Which, if that was the case, then how come Netflix didn't buy the Star Trek shorts? If it was such a non-gamble, if it's Netflix is paying for everything, then why not shell out the extra few tens of millions to get those Star Trek shorts? I'm waiting for that question to be answered, CBS. Yeah. So, competition seems to have been fierce for Star Trek Discovery. And Reddit notes that as a result, Netflix is believed to have virtually no control over the show's creative or budgetary decisions. What's more, they may have been forced to buy it for as many as 5 seasons, irrespective of whether or not the series performs well on their service or not. I find that really hard to believe. I really do. I mean, it could be right, I guess. But so this article goes on to state that this was no gamble for CBS whatsoever. Netflix paid for everything. Midnight's Edge reported that they paid pretty much everything for season 1, so that might have been the case. Just from observation, just from pure observation, when it comes to the Star Trek shorts, I'm going to side with Midnight's Edge. I think if it was such a non-gamble, I'll say it again, then they would have bought the Star Trek shorts, because that only helps promote, the show that you're going to be carrying for season 2. But I will also argue with this. Let's go to, the Marvel Netflix stuff. Netflix canceled a Marvel show right when they premiered another Marvel show. Do you think Netflix is afraid of CBS All Access when they're ready to go toe-to-toe with fucking Disney? So I think, and all these contracts, by the way, you can get out of any contract if you are willing to pay for it. The Spider-Man rights, yeah, sure, Disney could get them back from Sony if they're willing to give up the world, which they're not willing to do. There is a way to get these rights back, and there's poison pills in contracts. There's always a way to get out of a contract. So now, I can kind of believe that Netflix will be dumb enough to sign on for 5 seasons of Star Trek before they got it, just based on the IP and based on how I've seen these tech companies do business here. They have no problems throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars like it's nothing. But times are changing for Netflix, and that's why they have been canceling shows lately. So I think this is just what I think. Midnight's Edge hit a little close to home on this one, and it forced CBS to come out with a kind of a response through a very, very lower tier website. I'll say, Screenrant. I've gone to Screenrant for some stuff, and they're no worse than others, but they're shill. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if Star Trek Discovery makes it to 5 seasons. I'm willing to bet it doesn't. I'm willing to bet that it will indeed get replaced by the Picard series. And hey, this is CBS protecting itself. Of course, they're not going to come out and tell the truth. We aren't owed the truth. This and some of the old guard who are still in control here, these producers of the IPs and stuff, have no idea what they're dealing with when it comes to the social media and the YouTube. This is all new. This is all blindsided them. Some of them don't pay attention. Some of them probably still don't know it exists, this descent. They don't, I mean, Hollywood executives don't spend time watching YouTube. I find that very hard to believe. They're way too busy, allegedly, taking a lot of lunch meetings, allegedly me tooing a lot of people, possibly some coke involved. Who knows? I mean, it's Hollywood. It's a big freaking party up there. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I'm sure people will make videos on this. This does nothing but help Midnight's Edge. So good for them. Good for them. That is awesome. To get banned and then get a media response, you hit a home run. Yeah, fucking hit a home run. So that was awesome. I am truly impressed. And yeah, Star Trek Discovery sucks. It just, god damn it. Sorry. Oh, Mrs. Nerdrotic cares not if I am live. She could give two shits. I'm sure it was important. Coke was in the 80s, Gary. Well, I mean, dude, that was the last time I kind of went. Well, I mean, like, yeah, Coke was in the 80s. It's still around, though. There's lots of Coke. Yeah. So let's get to the chat here. We're also going to say there's some really good news when it comes to Swamp Thing and Hellboy. Well, the Hellboy's good news, bad news. Swamp Thing is very good news. And then there's the what the fuck news with Matt Smith and the Palpatine rumor. I have to say, spoiler, that if they were going to run with this, I'd actually like that. I mean, it's way too late. I don't care about Star Wars and it's dead and it's just turned super bland. But here we go. Kato Roan, according to Jeff in the World Class Bullshit, there's no downside to doing long form videos. YouTube looks at audience participation more than length, so chats, comments, and likes play a role. Agree, Kato. That's what I learned at VidCon. When people from YouTube came out and actually said that the most important thing is not the views, it is minutes watched, engagement. That's all they care, and that's why they really they believe me, they're kicking themselves that they didn't roll out they weren't friendlier with the live stream. But thanks to Twitch, this is proof that competition, okay, it gives way to innovation. YouTube was just going to sit on their hands and do nothing. Twitch comes out, starts, kicking their butt a little bit in the live stream market. And then all of a sudden, YouTube starts doing the stuff Twitch does. If you want to see a good example of that, just watch Comic Book Girls 19's very long piece out on YouTube. And then she kind of came back because YouTube, she equated it to a breakup with a boyfriend, and then he started doing all the stuff that she wanted him to do. And yeah, I think she was crying on the video, actually. I mean, hey, just for me, there's no crying on YouTube. Come on. So yeah, YouTube, that is true, Kato. Thank you. And we are not going to change. I'll do short form videos because they're fun and I like to edit. And fortunately, I'm pretty fast. I mean, like, well, I mean, I don't write scripts. I'm sure it's really obvious, but no, I just talk and I cut out the and ums. That's about it for the videos. Throw in some pictures for visual aid. But that's what I used to do. I used to do that. I used to do a lot of stuff. Used to sell records. Used to sling hamburgers and tacos. Those were some of my first jobs. Used to throw newspapers. Used to be a newspaper boy. Been a firefighter. Yeah. Delivered auto parts. Worked on cars. Sold comic books. And edited and compressed videos. And worked on Blu-rays. Yeah. So Star Wars new films suck so bad they have to retroactively make the good Star Wars movies bad by robbing us of the epic ending and they had in Return of the Jedi. Nathan Norman, that is exactly what is going on with everything. Instead of so these big companies buy these franchises we love, Star Trek, or I can't say Doctor Who because it's been owned by the same company and they're just doing it to themselves. But Disney mainly is taking Marvel and Star Wars, and the reason they bought those two things was to bring more boys in. Disney, let's not forget, Disney has not been on top forever. It was not that long ago when they were in the shitter. John Carter, they put a ton of money into that movie and it crashed and burned. Tron Legacy, which by the way, both movies I liked. I like Tron Legacy, even with rubbery face Jeff Bridges. And I really like John Carter of Mars. I really, really like that movie, but they bombed. Sorry. And that's what forced them to go out and buy a couple of properties, Marvel and Star Wars, which was jaw dropping when it happened. Absolutely. Especially with Marvel. I was like, I never thought Marvel will be dumb enough to sell. And it just shows that the people who were running Marvel were so idiotic. You had something. I mean, honestly, what Disney bought was on the way up. They didn't create the MCU. Now they Kevin Feige played a big part in continuing it because it was about to crash and burn. By the way, the MCU was about to crash and burn before Disney came in. But the Avengers was Marvel and Paramount and a little bit Universal, with the Hulk, and it was on its way, and it has honestly surpassed Star Wars. I know Star Wars is considered the ultimate IP. I disagree. I've always thought Marvel was better in Star Wars, and it's got more characters, it's got more depth, it's superheroes, and it's fun. Star Wars, is considered the Beatles of IP, but where we're at now with Star Wars is such a bad place. You'll and we'll all find out when Episode 9 comes out, with no hook of the original cast. Really, you might see Luke as a ghost for a few minutes. Um, I don't think it's enough to bring butts in the seats of theaters. You still make a ton of money, but not the money that it's expected, and it's in the garbage. What the owners of these IPs, they've gotten into their heads that the lore is flawed, that there's something wrong with the lore, and it's we need to change it instead of just moving forward, honoring the past, moving forward, making the changes you feel you need to change with inclusivity or diversity or whatever. Do that with the moving forward. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just do it. Because when you make a big deal out of it, you actually look. I mean, like it's just total lack of self awareness. That's all it is. You guys, they have to know what they look like when they do that. They look like rich elitist assholes. And they're doing it with everything. They're doing it with Doctor Who. They're doing it with Star Trek. This is why, and Star Wars, this is why there's big YouTube channels just based on this alone. They've done it with multiple TV shows, but there's a lot of stuff that doesn't do it. Like The Expanse is the best example of everything good. And I'll get the chat in a second. Sorry. Oh man, I got to catch up. So I'll do this quick one and I'll get to the chat. To respond to somebody who you know mm, so a YouTuber who I won't name came out during our Doctor Who recap and started throwing a bunch of stuff at me, which is fine. I honestly don't care. Go ahead, call me a dick, call me whatever. I kind of am. But then he said something so fucking ridiculous. So I was bashing on Doctor Who for being pretty much Doctor Woke, and then I told people to watch The Expanse, and his response was, "The Expanse is SJW trash." I'm like, okay, so you like Doctor Who, the current version of Doctor Who, but The Expanse is SJW. That's just an inconsistent argument. Okay, The Expanse is not SJW trash. It can be perceived that way from the outside if you don't bother to, I don't know, watch 2 seconds of it. If that's the lens you see things through. The Expanse is the opposite of that. Is there politics in it? Yes, of course. Is there diversity? Yes, tons of it. But it's got talented writers. Well, it's got good producers. That's a word. Those two words you don't put together very often. It's a solid team that doesn't feel like they need to do anything else than sell their story because it's that good. It's that fucking good. All they do is, I mean, do we hear anything negative ever from the Expanse community, from the production? Nothing ever. Why? Because they're just good. That's what good is. I mean, the only thing they do is make other IPs look really, really bad by simply existing because it's that good. Yes, they deal with politics, but they deal with it realistically. There are no freaking Mary Sue. Somebody said Bobby Draper's a Mary Sue. Read the books, watch the show. No. Bobby Draper is a Martian, and in the book, she's giant. She's a superhuman, she's like 6'3", 6'3", uh almost 300 pounds, Samoan woman, super strong. Yeah, not some dumb Mary Sue. She's got PTSD. She's got all kinds of, and that's not the only reason that she loves her. She's a well thought out character. She's got her faults. She's a little bit too quick to fight sometimes. Her and Amos are a lot alike. Although she's way more compassionate than Amos is in the beginning anyway. And a great character. Naomi Nagata is a deeply flawed character who's awesome. Drummer's grown in the show even better in the books. And so yeah, it's just a great show. And if you're gonna call it that, then I mean you haven't seen it, and then liking Doctor Who and then calling, I mean, what? I don't even get that. I don't even get it. So, and I usually don't respond to comments because they're comments and people can make them. And feel free to, I mean, say whatever you want. I don't care. I'll just have you know that, yeah, we have mods, but YouTube has what they do is they don't delete comments, but they will bury them if they're filled with a bunch of profanity and stuff like that. So if you want your comment to stay, leave the profanity, because it's not me doing anything. So lay off the profanity and your comment will stay. But I've noticed comments completely disappear that I've tried to respond to, and I went and they're just gone. So I don't know if the user deleted them or if it was YouTube. But yeah, be talking shit. I mean, like you can talk shit about the Expanse, but I'm gonna come back at with you. Go ahead and try. I think the only thing I've heard people say about the Expanse who don't watch is I'm not into sci-fi, and it's like, well, okay, well that's not a bad reason. Some people are just not into sci-fi. It's cool. That's good. But I would recommend it anyway. It's beyond that. Also, if they force 5 seasons, you'd think they demand the shorts as payment for something like that, not to last 5 seasons. Exactly, Nigel. The logic in that article is ridiculous. And it says at one point in there that that Star Trek Discovery is absolutely no risk for CBS, and which is silly. Every show is a risk. And if the show was doing well on its own, they wouldn't come out with a bunch of spin-offs and other shows to compete with it in its first couple of seasons. They'd let it grow a little bit. Shit, they could have come out with Game of Thrones spin-offs left and right. HBO could have done that a long time ago. And they didn't. For one, well, we could do a whole podcast on the problems HBO has had with Game of Thrones. It's a success, but it's one that really weighs on them because it costs so damn much money and takes so much time. And that's also the problem Disney is going to have in the future, holding IPs like Star Wars and Marvel. They are great to have, but it's like you bought a Tesla and a Ferrari. All right. Awesome cars. But there's a saying we used to have in auto parts. My friend Scott Edwards coined it, and he actually said this to a customer, and he was lucky that his dad was the boss. When a woman was complaining how much her parts were, and he said, "Lady, if you can't afford the parts, you shouldn't have bought the car." And no truer statement has ever been spoken. Those words should be like etched in stone and put above every auto parts place, by the way. And Scott was my hero that day after he fucking said that. Scott, if you're listening, love you, man. And yeah, that's basically what Disney's gonna find themselves in eventually when they start cutting prices and cutting budgets and stuff like that. It'll happen. I promise. Those things are insanely expensive to maintain. And now to the chat. Philip A. Demick, how does anyone pay? That's, I thought that too, but there is kind of an answer to it. But Philip A. Demick says, how does anyone pay more than 100% of the cost of anything? Illogical. I think what they meant, it's still an erroneous statement, but like say Star Trek Discovery cost what was it, 15 episodes, so $150 million to produce, that they paid like $160 million. So 100% of the set cost. But yeah, well, the news that Netflix was cutting way back on the STD show financially came out months ago. At least that's when I first heard it. The news was the ratings were poor in the Netflix non-US, says Rob Biller. And that might have been. Actually, Doomcock came out before Midnight's Edge, but he was reporting it as rumors. And it might have been out there before that. I did not see it, but I'm not saying that didn't happen, Rob. There was a lot of talk about it, maybe, in reference to season 1 or 2. I mean, that's semantics, but my source told me the only thing that I was even allowed to say was the episodes cost 10 million, not 8. After all was said and done. STD charts. Thanks, Hoscat. Yeah. Netflix is not, CBS All Access is yeah, it's like a little ant. Nuke 'em from orbit is the only way to make sure. That's right. Disco, both forms are bad for humanity. This is Nathan Norman. Yeah, we're the death before disco shirts, folks. I don't know if that's a trademark statement. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, because you're young, there used to be a type of music called disco, kids, and it used to be a dance music, and it was very popular. And then people turned on it, and it was kind of the mullet of the '70s. It was just all the rocker kids and punk rocker kids made fun of it. And there was even the Detroit Tigers had, I believe it was, I don't know, it's called exactly this, had a death before disco night where you came and burned your disco albums in the middle of the field. Yes, that actually happened. And there was shirts. My sister used to wear death before disco. And I just remember I was young, so I kind of liked disco at the first because I was like 6. And then my sister's like, no, disco's lame. You don't like disco anymore. I'm all, okay. Whatever. And there it goes. Yeah. Basically Saturday Night Fever came out, and that was the end of disco. That's where it peaked, and then it dived right after that. Coke and hookers, says Sebastian Simonson. Yes, the daily regiment of a Hollywood executive. I doubt any of this Me Too stuff has changed any of that stuff. I think they're just a little more subtle. They used to like not give a Harvey Weinstein, the balls on that guy, man. Unbelievable. Doesn't he look like the kind of guy, allegedly, speculatively, allegedly, the kind of guy that would have somebody like whacked? Like if I was going to cast him in one of his own movies, like a Quentin Tarantino movie, yeah. Not saying, of course, that he would do anything like that. He is innocent till proven guilty. Uh, Coke was, yeah, there we go. End after Star Trek Picard is announced, guaranteed. STD will end after Star Trek Picard is announced, guaranteed, says Saquist. I agree with you, Saquist. I do. Hoscat 6 scale. I will watch your lot of beers and raise you one blunt. I'll match your sorry about that watch. Why would he watch? I will match your lot of beers and raise you a blunt. 420, yo. Hey, legalize it. Oh, they did. They did. And now I smell pot smoke everywhere in San Francisco because hey, pot smokers smoke away. I think it should be legal. I'm glad it is. It's ridiculous that it's illegal in some states, and I completely back the legalization of marijuana. Do not partake. It's Russian bots, I tell you. It is. I must be a Russian bot. Steve Fiddler. Any good wife does not care what the husband is doing. You're damn straight, because what that husband needs to do is answer the damn phone. I, I sent her a little text. Kronos Kyron says, "Hey Gary, what's up, Kronos? How you doing?" Fragminian says, Nerdrotic likes some Coke with his morning coffee. I used to. Oh, go fuck the coffee. I just went straight for the Coke. Okay, guys, there was a time in my life, my day did not start until I downed a beer or had a shot. Alcohol was not anything I gave a crap what it tasted like. I just needed to get drunk. So whatever got me drunk the fastest and that was closest to my hand when I woke up the morning, which is usually a bottle of really cheap fucking vodka, like in a plastic bottle, from a drugstore named Thrifty. And then it was off to the races after that with all kinds of other drugs. It was terrible. Horrible way to live. Nerdrotic channel, bit late. What's the Swamp Thing news? Are they ruining my beloved Swamp God? Okay, 8-bit Snake Boy. No. I have wonderful news on that. And the answer is no. Mark Verheiden and James Wan are currently in running that show. And I'll get to that news later, but I'll give you a preview. They've casted the Swamp Thing. They've cast the Swamp Thing. It's in very good hands. This is going to be a good show. Our co-host Susan Layton, who runs 1428elm.com, will be covering it because it's going to be mostly a horror show. They're going to go the Bernie Wrightson angle and apparently like mix in the Alan Moore stuff later. There's nothing but good news about this show. I know Titans did not come out of the gate good, and I know it's not a very good show, but trust me, Swamp Thing will be good. They're going for a hard R on this one, and it's going to be, this is where DC's going to beat Marvel. You heard it here, well, probably for the second or eighth time, because DC's not going to be afraid to go rated R. Swamp Thing, you made my heart sing. Yeah, Swamp Thing's awesome. Swamp Thing's one of the best comics ever written. It actually, I like the 80s show, the 80s show and the 80s movie with Adrian Barbeau. And I love the Swamp Thing. I do. It's a crazy horror character that should have never gone past like 5 issues, and it did, because it's Swamp Thing is the best example in the world of, you can write with a good writer, you can make anything good. And like, now I love the character, but on the surface you're like, it's a big ugly green mess of guy right there, and they make it so good. Since Netflix knows the numbers of the world, they would know whether or not the shorts are worth it. Just say a Nerdrotic channel, says Tommelfinger. Absolutely. I mean, yes. Fuck yes. So if Star Trek Discovery was such a GD success, you know who's going to know it? Netflix. And they're going to know it more than CBS, because CBS, I mean, obviously has access to their data, but CBS All Access is only available in America. So they're trusting Netflix with the data they're providing. I highly doubt Netflix is like giving them full access to their clicks, however that is. I am currently working on talking to somebody about like how Netflix, I mean, I'm sure it's something as simple as YouTube. Like each video, somebody who has internal access can just look and see how many clicks are on a video. But I'm trying to get some verification of how they do things without actually getting any numbers. I thought I might know somebody. I'll just say that. Trying to work that angle just because I'm curious. I think eventually they're going to have to come out and get these streaming services and give their numbers. Why wouldn't they? If the argument has been said before, and I'll say it here again, if Star Trek Discovery is indeed such an excess, show us the numbers, prove it. The record. Okay, CBS Access says they had record subscribers. Well, if your previous record was like 10,000 in a month, then getting 200,000 subscribers or 12,000 subscribers would be a record technically. It's, I don't know, maybe it's jaded. It's not believing anything from a company or an entertainment rag like Screenrant, and not taking anything at face value. And you got to look at their wording. And this one's pretty obvious. Here, let's see. They have a link to those record numbers. Let's see what record subscriptions. Okay, so it refers to another script. I love it when they link sources to themselves. Okay. Oh, and by the way, what I didn't mention was the source for this article was a website called Rediff. All right. Rediff is like an aggregate site. So it's essentially their source is a blogger. So, and I'll show you that real quick here. So I'm going to go to Rediff. Here's the source article for the article. I should have showed you guys this at first, but hey, it's a long live stream, so stay tuned. Here we go. So here's the source article. How the paradox of the term original series explains the video industry. Netflix misunderstandings part 4 from August 27th, 2018 by Matthew Ball, who is just basically a blogger. And I have never heard of this site. It's nice looking. It's well laid out, but buried in all this, like, I mean, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. So you just get by that and you go, Star Trek. And you find this, a CBS All Access Star Trek Discovery for exclusive rights to the series is most non-US start creative budgetary decisions, though there are predefined maximums. He's basically saying that original series aren't original series. They're produced by other people and Netflix just buys them. So it's not technically a Netflix series. Netflix isn't producing these things from the ground up. What they do is they hire production companies, which is how everything works. So I don't know why you need, I'm not going to read all this. It's so boring. But that's the only time Star Trek is mentioned. And that's where they source this article from. And again, I will highlight the word believed. Netflix is believed to have covered 100% of the cost. So this is what they referred to. Now, I don't know if that's Screenrant running interference for Star Trek to gain some brownie points, maybe, possibly. That's possibly a reason. So you never know. You never know. Oh my God, I missed a super chat. Steele Johnson, $2. Finger crossed for Constantine guest appearance in Swamp Thing. Yes, absolutely. We talked about that before, and it's why not? I mean, they're all Greg Berlanti productions. You would have to seriously change the tone. I hate what they've done in Constantine and Legends. I'm happy that Matt Ryan has work, though. I love Matt Ryan as Constantine. So, like, good on you, mate, for getting a paycheck. And Steele Johnson, sorry for missing your super chat, buddy. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All right, so we're coming up here, and let's get back to the chat. So yeah, they just, what they do is they link to really ridiculous articles, and you see through this, right? You guys see through this. I mean, like, you guys are not dumb. They think we're dumb, though. And you know what? There's a lot of people like Star Trek Discovery. So big thumbs up. We already read that. Let's get back down here. I'm a big John Carter fan. Marvel should have stuck with it. They only care about money, not doing a franchise right. 8-Bit Snake Boy, agreed. John Carter is one of the coolest stories ever told. I love the fucking books. I love the comics from the 70s. Frank Miller's first art is in a John Carter, Warlord of Mars. And it's fucking fantastic. His first outing is awesome. The Expanse 6 Sale Combat says the Expanse is superb because it's well written, period. You don't need to say anything more than that. There is no way the Expanse is SJW. No, it is not. So when I say SJW, it is not, I always got to tell this, it's not anti-left. I'm not a left or right person. I see the SJW, this is just my personal view of it, as fundamentalist, to say the least, and illogical. They spurg a lot. It's a group of people who set out to destroy and don't really care about what they're destroying as long as they get some perceived ideology across and virtue signaling and all that crap. And it's just not genuine. It's crap. It's nothing to do with the actual term, but it's what the term is related to, you know. Uh, Doctor Who was my show. My dad watched it from the 60s till the end of the golden age of the 80s. I watched it on UK TV Gold until the new series started and watched every episode. And Nathan, I feel the same way. It sucks to see what's happened to Doctor Who. It absolutely sucks. But I did not make videos about it at the time. The people who've watched my live streams, I've talked about it a little bit in my live streams. I could have made videos on this stuff for a year straight. I was that pissed about it, but I decided not to. I just dealt with it. I have accepted it, let it go, and now I'm just kind of watching it burn at this point, and it sucks. Doesn't make it any better. Just like the Star Wars fans who are upset. After all the fighting is done, it's a bummer. It's a bummer that the stuff what's the lesson we learn in this? Man, don't have brand loyalty because they do not care about you. They don't. I mean, enjoy it. Doesn't mean you shouldn't enjoy stuff, but I would, it sucks because that's what makes fandom run is pure, just passion and love for things. And you want to dive into it and, dive in the deep end of Star Wars and, just love it to fucking death. Make it your thing, get tattoos, line your walls with action figures and shit like that. But then they turn on you at some point and say they don't want you around anymore. And fundamentally change everything about the characters you love to help build this new character that's at best a flash in the pan. Not even that. Not even that. Like I said, there'll be books written on what Disney did to Star Wars. If anything, the Expanse is pretty radical because all lower income people and minorities have been sent to space colonies to mine resources. Yeah. Yeah. It's a world with no real middle class anymore. There's the government class, there's the rich, there's the people who work for the government and work for probably the corporations around, and then the other half of the population is something called basic, and it's miserable. So it's a big what if the UN took over the world, and it's not a pro UN story at all. It shows the dark side of that. Christian Avasarala in the very first episode of television makes her character darker than it kind of is in the book. They show a little scene of her torturing a belter. And well, not herself, but ordering more hours of torture, not just an hour. And it's great. The scene starts out with her playing with her little grandson who throws a water balloon, and it's all cute. She's like, I'm going to give you tickles. And then she flies off, and then there's a belter hanging there in the wall. And just being on Earth's gravity, because they're born in space, they can't take Earth's gravity. It actually physically hurts them. It tortures them. So if you want to torture a belter, and it's not all belters, but this certain belter, they grow taller. They're like 7 feet tall. Their bones are thinner because they're born in space. So coming down to Earth practically kills them, or feels like it's killing them. So you just simply put him outside. They if they don't want to kill him, they put him inside a water tank. So they pulled him out, had him chained to the wall. He's gritting his teeth, and she goes up and goes, all you have to do is whisper. Just tell me, why did you have this technology? Blah, blah, blah. And then she's all, give him 8 or 10 more hours. If he dies, let me know. That was the sweet little grandma. And this is a character we love. And that's how we start her out. That's good fucking writing. And I didn't do it justice, but that's good fucking writing. That's the first episode of The Expanse hooks you. Absolutely hooks you. It's actually, you got to watch it's, 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes are almost like a movie, but for me, I was hooked on Battlestar Galactica in the first the miniseries in the first 5 minutes when number 6 comes out and asks if that are you alive? And then they blow up the space station. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And we got another super chat. Sorry, I'm moving around because my camera's in the way. We had 2. I'm sorry. Steele Johnson, $2 for Carter, Frazetta, and Mars. Oh, Frank Frazetta. I miss you, Frank Frazetta. Bernie Wrightson and Frank Frazetta. The world is like, and let's throw in Bowie. The world is just not a better place with those people missing from it. Mr. Roboto, thank you for this $2 super chat, by the way, Steele Johnson. Mr. Roboto, $2. Doctor Who will go away, then come back. Yes, it will. It will. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There we go. And we got our chat back. I have to get caught up on the chat. On the TV show, they say she was born and raised on Mars. How she got so big and strong with the weaker Martian gravity. They use the science on her, says Frag Minion. It depends on what generation she is. If she's second generation, and when they're on Mars, the Mars has stronger gravity. I don't know. I'd have to read back, but it depends on what generation. It takes generations for you to for your body to change at that point, according to the science in the show. There's, like I said before, there's some belters. If you're like 5th or 6th, because people have been in space for hundreds of years. So if you're like 5th or 6th generation, that's when the body starts changing. If you're 1st or 2nd, you're still going to look like an earther. What's up, Steele Johnson? Saquist is a huge drummer fan. AQ Ross says, you know what is really SJW-tastic? BSG. Yeah, right. Yep. Such an SJW show, that Battlestar Galactica. No, Battlestar Galactica, again, is a show that showed politics, the ugliness of all sides. That's that's all we ask, is show the ugliness of all sides. God dang it. Oh, man. Yeah, I really can't turn off my phone because I have a kid in school, so that would be irresponsible. But let me fix that right now. Sorry about that. Talk amongst yourselves. There we go. Fixed. Okay. Yeah, Bobby Draper's a great character. Just read the books. Read the books. Hey, what's up? Disfigured. Where my head is this. Okay. A disfigurement where my head is the sun. Hi there, everyone. First time joining live. Welcome. A disfigurement where my head is the sun. I'm just gonna call you Disfigurement from here on out. Okay, can we be friends and just you can call me whatever you want, and I'll call you Disfigurement. But we'll know what the hell. Tamarox, hail Tamarox with the crazy super chat. Tamarox, Tamarox is a patron, a friend, and very generous. We appreciate it. That is a lot of money, sir. Tamrox, I love the Exozoes stuff. Woo-woo talk is always fascinating to me. And here's to hoping Doomcock gets some free time in the future to do another episode. Tamrox, thank you so much. Doomcock and I speak once in a while. He's an incredibly busy person. He's got some stuff going on in his personal life. But he misses the hell out of you guys, and he's going to be coming out with content, I'm sure. He did 7 hours of stuff yesterday. So he just, but yes, there will be more. I can say that there will be more. Maybe a couple weeks, maybe, but we'll have to see. It's completely up to and no pressure on him. It's completely up to when he has free time. I'll be there with bells on whenever he's ready. So, and Jeff from World Class Bullshitters joining us would be, yeah. When that happened this morning, that put me in the best fucking mood. It really did. I mean, I'm always kind of in a good mood when I wake up. Toaster sex orgy. Hell yeah, Sebastian. The user got whacked, says Kronos. It was troll talk, Matt Guy, referring to that guy who was coming on. You're right. I still felt like responding, but I dealt with that person in kind, and actually our wonderful wrenches. I generally don't see that stuff because our wrenches are cool, and our wrenches are cool. Like Mary's cool and Viking bitch cool. They all know that to do this to with my voice, and generally I don't care what you guys say. I mean, as long as it's there's 3 words you're not supposed to say in my chat, and I don't think it's words that any of you would say. So there's no danger of anything. We try to be just boring enough so the trolls stay away. For the adulting nerd, we like to say. Um, and yeah, we do what we need to do. And yeah, but I mean, like if it's personal attacks on other people, that's where I kind of draw the line. But if it's on me, that's fine. It really is. I have been called so much worse by my dad, who I loved. Drummer is so authentic. She is the best woman with not super Mary Sue powers, says Saquist. Yep. Uh, like the Expanse doesn't do like, okay, so I'm gonna pick on Rogue One, a movie I kind of like, but when Jin Urso like knocked out a stormtrooper with their bare fist when he was like fully armored, that's Mary Sue shit. They don't do that in the Expanse. Uh, you want to see some ridiculous fighting? Watch the third to the last episode, the last mirror episode of Star Trek Discovery, and you will see the worst choreography fighting you will ever see. uh, uh, Honestly, forgot GOT was still making stuff. Yeah, it's been so long, Fragminion. I know. Uh, the Game of Thrones. Well, it's ramped up because we're about to get a trailer. We're going to be getting a trailer in the next 2 weeks for Game of Thrones. That's the word on the street. It'll be a teaser. Okay, so it's going to be one of those teasers where it's like last year. It's no new footage. It's just people. Viking bitch is driving and listening. Drive carefully, Viking bitch. Thank you for joining me for our Venture Brothers season 1 retro review. Please check it out. Viking bitch is our Venture Brothers co-host and maybe a co-host on some other stuff in the future. Sabrina was okay. Okay, Disfigured says Sabrina was okay. Sure, teenage stuff, but it isn't Doctor Who as well. That's what Dennis said. Dennis said it, but yeah, Dennis and I just differ on tastes on that. Yeah, I know when I'm not gonna like a show. So I actually watched 2 episodes of Sabrina, and I'm like, nah, it's not for me. There is okay, so we cover shows we like. There's the shows we like, the shows we kind of like. If it's kind of in the middle of, if it's meh, we're not going to cover it. If we really hate it, it depends on the level of hate. Then we will cover it. Like Star Trek Discovery is like we hate it enough to cover it. Doctor Who is pretty much at that point. Most other shows, though, I just like I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to be shitting on too many shows. We try to limit it to 2 or 3. We like to have the vast majority. We want to tell you about good stuff. Counterparts coming back, folks. Get caught up on that. Then join us for the watch party. And yeah, you will love that show. I promise you. Counterpart. Uh, okay, man. Point taken, Philip A. Demick. Okay, challenge accepted. The Expanse was horribly marketed by sci-fi. See, found something negative. Well played, sir. Well played. You got me on that one. You're right. Sci-fi fucked that up. That's using the logic of you know when they give a flaw to a Mary Sue and her only flaw was trusting a man. Uh, if she just hadn't have trusted that man, she'd have been perfect. Which, hey, Star Trek has a whole 80-year period before TNG. Why not put something there to cover the USS Horatio, making making their end even more tragic? I would love to watch the heck out of that. Nathan, Norman, this is what I said in my video. You guys have better ideas. When fan fiction eclipses what you're actually putting on the screen and making people pay for, um, listen, there's a point where you've got to like get around your ego at some point because it's going to crush you eventually. So either accept it now or accept it later that maybe as the professional writer who works for Star Trek who has to go to canon camp, maybe you're not that good, and it sucks. I'm sorry, but I'm not running to write Star Trek. I would suck at it. I mean, Kirk would just be making out with green aliens every 5 minutes. There'd be green aliens in every one of my episodes that look like Yvonne Craig. And he'd be fighting the Gorn all the time with the music, da, 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 doing his little karate chops and stuff. Just hours of that. When you pay more than 100%, just means you pay the real price for the product. The overcharge is just money going to pay off people, like the bribes, says Fragmented. Yep. The yeah, the costs that actually that you have to that makes the world go around, Fragminion, those unforeseen costs that, well, shit, I had to get business done in San Francisco. I had to do a little grease and palms, as they call it. Yes, you have to like throw a little cheddar cheese around, get some shit done. Um, man, I did that at allegedly at WonderCon, and I was treated royally for the 5 years I went there. It all started out by being me being nice to a Teamster, a team where there was a big long line to get in the con, and some comic shop owner was just yelling at this kid, at this 19-year-old kid. So I got out of my car, and this was after like minutes of it, and I'm like, oh, fucking enough. So I got out of my car and I'm like, dude, he is a kid. You are an old man. You're not his dad. Shut up. Just wait in line like the rest of us. Leave him alone. We cool? Good. Okay. And I got out and sat back down to my car, and the kid came over to me and he's like, wait like 5 minutes and meet me over on the other side. I'm like, cool. Right. So I met him on the other side, and he let me right in, led me to a spot, helped me unload my car. So I freaking gave him $100. And that kid, he was there every year, took me to the front of the line every time. It was great. And it started with an act of kindness, just like, yeah, it's never really works yelling at people. It doesn't. They couldn't afford the Expanse anymore. That was it. That's what we talked about when they canceled it. I think it was all a planned move, to be honest with you, and that's okay. End result is great. All right. So we're gonna get to the Expanse news here. Well, I mean, not the Expanse. Sorry. It's okay. So the Swamp Thing is going to be played by two different actors. Gosh dang it! I don't know why my screen is doing this. Sorry, folks. Give me just a second. Uh, Alrighty. Just want to share that up. Sorry for the silence there. Oh, man. Okay, I'm just going to read it because I've got too many windows up right now. So, okay. So, according to IO9, DC Universe's Swamp Thing will be played by 2 different actors. You can't actually make a Swamp Thing television show without casting someone to actually play the Swamp Thing. DC Universe has seemingly taken that truth to heart and then some by casting not 1 but 2 actors to portray the titular avatar of the Green. A Deadline is reporting. We will open this up in a new tab here, and I will get rid of these tabs, which are making my life difficult right now. And we'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. Oh, I can't get it up. God dang it. Okay, never mind. Oh, that sounded bad, didn't it? You fucking Windows. Okay, so we are here was going to play. God, I want to show you this picture too. DC Universe is upcoming. Derek Mears, who played another horror icon, Jason Voorhees, on Friday the 13th reboot, will play the big monster. Now, I think that won't be his voice though. The streaming service, which hails from James Wan's Atomic Monster in association with Warner Brothers Television, is set to premiere in 2019 on the DC Universe digital subscription service. All right. And we're going to get this up here. New window. There we go. I can fix it now. Here we go. Awesome. Just took a little effort there. It's live, folks. It's live. Sorry about that. Here we go. Oh, come on. There it is. Need to hire a producer someday. All right. So it looks like we've got some multiple casting here. So as I said, DC Universe's upcoming Swamp Thing series is continuing to cast upsetting powers Andy Bean to play the biologist Alec Holland, who is in the DC mythology as created by Len Wein. Yes, and Bernie Wrightson. Len Wein, may rest in peace. A good man. Got to meet him right before he died. Cool dude. Transforms into the titular creature Derek Mears, who played another horror icon, Jason Voorhees, in the Friday the 13th reboot, will playing the Bog Monster, the streaming service, which hails from James Wan's. Now, that is key. James Wan being in charge of this is why it's going to be good. Atomic Monster, in association with Warner Brothers Television, is set to premiere in 2019 on the DC digital subscription service. I will also tell you that it will premiere when Doom Patrol ends. So Doom Patrol is set to start roughly when Titans ends, and when Doom Patrol is done, Swamp Thing starts. So it's probably later. I would say fall. This will be a perfect show to premiere right around Halloween, I would suspect. The plot centers around Abby Arcane, Crystal Reed, as she investigates what seems to be a deadly swamp-borne virus in a small town in Louisiana, but soon discovers that the swamp holds mystical and terrifying secrets. When unexplained and chilling horrors emerge from the murky marsh, no one is safe. Do you like that? Beans Holland is caught in the crosshairs when he discovers the mystery may connect to his work in the swamp. This leads him into conflict with dark forces, from which he emerges as an elemental hero known as the Swamp Thing. As the monster, Mears, struggles to hold on to his humanity, he must embrace what he has become in order to defend the town, as well as the natural world at large. Again, you've got to love DC superheroes. They are so civic-minded. They're always defending their city or defending their town. And Mark Verheiden and Gary Dauberman wrote the script for the first episode and are executive producing with Juan, Michael Clear, and Len Weissman. Rob Hackett is co-producing. Weissman is directing. This is going to be good, folks. I mean, not like Len Weissman's the greatest director in the world, but he's working with, Mark Verheiden just did Ash versus Evil Dead season 3, which is good. Okay, it wasn't as good as 1 or 2, but it's better than anything CW or anything the CW has produced. Mears, whose genre cred beyond 2009's Friday the 13th redo includes such roles as Sleepy Hollow, True Blood, Twin Peaks, and the upcoming Alita Battle Angel, is repped by blah, blah, blah. So there you go. That is not bad Swamp Thing news. That is not, it's good news. It's good news from the DC streaming service that we're going to get quality television. This comes off of the Doom Patrol appearing in Titans, which was excellent. The Doom Patrol was excellent. Titans is still a very flawed show that has a lot of problems. Also, I would like to respond to a commenter who said something to the effect of, I must be only watching the Titans cartoons. Because that's basically how I saw. I say the Titans should be a little brighter, a little more colorful, a little more thrilling, a little more fun, not as dark. And that person said, well, everything I've read from the Titans has been dark, and you shouldn't watch the cartoon so much. And I'm like, well, I mean, dark is relative, and what you've read and what I've read, let's compare that. I go back to before the Marv Wolfman, version of the Teen Titan, or the all new Teen Titans. I go way the fuck back with the Teen Titans when it was just jolly little stories. So no, the vast majority of Titans has not been dark. And again, dark is relative. Some of that Marv Wolfman, George Perez Teen Titan stuff to a 12-year-old can look dark, but to a 50-year-old, it's not. So no, the Titans have not been a dark. They deal with dark things, but the characterizations have not. It has not been a. It's not a dark and brooding series. It's not. Now DC has gone through phases of that. Of course, Titans has gone through phases of that as well. But the vast majority of Teen Titans, not Titans, Teen Titans, no, they've had dark things. My favorite story is Graduation Day. I personally love Graduation Day. So yeah, there's your Swamp Thing news. And the Hellboy news is this is Dennis posted this on our Facebook page. This is the good news and the bad news, and I'll get to the chat real quick. Sorry for I don't want to ignore you guys for too much longer, so I will be right back. I will be right back. And we got a super chat, so I'll get to that in just a second. Waiting for my Facebook to load. Dennis posted that Thomas Hayden Church has been cast as Lobster Johnson, which is great news, except this. This, my God, this is like the biggest. Here, can we like back this out a little bit, bro? What the hell? Why is his face so big? I can't look at that. Okay. So yeah, Thomas Hayden Church has been cast as Lobster Johnson. Now, I don't know if this is like a retroactive casting or something like that, or they're just announcing it now because they're pretty much done filming. The movie was supposed to come out in January. They delayed it to April. Apparently Hellboy is testing terribly. And I hate to report that. The reports are that Harbor is very good as Hellboy, but the story just sucks. And they're going back to do some reshoots, maybe they're doing some more Lobster Johnson. I think Thomas Hayden Church is an excellent Lobster Johnson. Fucking bravo on that casting. I think it's so fucking good. So I love Hellboy. Actually more than I love Swamp Thing. I fucking love Hellboy. I want Hellboy to be good. I love the Guillermo del Toro movies, both of them to death. I don't know about this one though. I don't know. And I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy, and I don't think he was too old to reprise his role. I don't know why they, Harbor's cool. He's cool. I mean, I like him in Stranger Things. I mean, he's cool as an actor. I don't know about like real life or anything, but back to the chat. See a bunch of people dipped out on Swamp Thing. Come on, you got to watch Swamp Thing. It's good. Uh, the new Gifted had the fourth and fifth cuckoo sister. I always say cuckoo. I know, man. My fucking recaps are filled with that silhouette animator. In the latest episode, and kill. Oh, shh. Spoilers. Silhouetted animator. Spoilers. I have a paddle for that. See, this was the first thing a viewer ever sent us, and it's so special to me. It's our spoiler paddle. And she even painted our little logo right there. And it's by Viking Bitch. She sculpted a little art by Viking Bitch, has a channel. Please check it out. Thank you. That's cool. So you didn't really say killed off a recurring X-Men character. Silhouetted animator. It's funny that you bring this up, that we are going to jump back on the Gifted for the last few episodes to cover it and Manifest. Now, those are going to be videos. They're not going to be live. It's kind of a test. So please bear with us for that. And they have a plan, says Ion Trone. Yes, they do. They're talking about my Battlestar Galactica. Yeah, we're going to jump back on the Gifted. Okay. Mr. Roboto, $2 super chat. Blonde hot chick in Battlestar. You know if she works. Yes. Who does she work for, though? Thank you so much, Mr. Roboto, for the $2 super chat. And I'm trying to catch up on some Feisty Fan. What's up? We got to talk about Feisty Fan in a little bit too. We do. I promised a shout out. That shout out will happen in about, we'll say 30 minutes. I've only seen the Christopher Eccleston season of Doctor Who. Should I bother to catch up? Says Nihilus. Yes, I would watch seasons. I would 1 through 4 and the specials. 1 through 4 and the Christmas or not the Christmas. The David watch through the David Tennant run. Absolutely. Beyond that, I could recommend the first 2 seasons of Matt Smith. And then the 50th anniversary special, and then you probably want to bow out. It gets really inconsistent. Like some of season 7 is okay. Some of season 8 with Capaldi is okay. I mean, again, so the Capaldi offenders don't come out and rip me apart. I love him as the Doctor. He was not given good writing. Okay, we can't say anything different about that. You know what I'm saying? Good Doctor, bad writing. The best Capaldi episodes are, for me anyway, Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express. I meant to say Disney should have stuck with John Carter. I said Marvel earlier. It's all good. I knew what you meant. But yes, I really love the Marvel comics too. I still have all of my original copies. Yeah, Disney should have absolutely stuck with John Carter. Marvel should have stuck with John Carter. John Carter is it requires a person who really believes in that property, who can do it well, because it is, man, it's everything I like about escapism. Okay. What's up, Comics Division? What's up, Feisty Fan? How you doing, my friends? Man, there's all kinds of drama going on in the Comics Gate right now, folks. Whew, man. Yeah, holy crap. And again, it's the top of the hour, so I need to. This is the last time I'll do this, but I got to thank Doomcock, Jeff from World Class Bullshitters, Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers for in a very round. Well, Doomcock especially for like shouting me out on a huge channel yesterday, a channel that I watch and a show that I listen to called The High Council. EVS was not there. Doomcock took his place last minute and killed it. Had the single best fucking Star Wars rant I've heard him do. It was pretty damn good. And gave us a shout out for the Exozone. So very happy about that. And it looks like it's a possibility. Jeff expressed interest in joining us, which would make me nothing but happy. Thought that was cool as hell. So thanks again. All right. 6 Scale comment says, I don't mind a little politics in our IPs if it leads to an exchange of thoughts, but they should drop the outright propaganda. Agreed. I think that If it was politics leaning towards the other side, I'd feel the exact same way. The exact same way. It doesn't matter the politics. It's the fact that it's not being presented. Uh, and another YouTuber, another very big YouTuber, brought up another writer had put that basically the writer said when you sell out your characters, the ones you have built up to score brownie points with somebody outside a story, you've sold out your story and you become basically propaganda. And the person who actually wrote that, and I'm paraphrasing it very bad, but the person who wrote that was a communist. So a communist said, "Hey, when you sell out your characterization for personal ideology to get high fives from your bros, you have become a hack, basically, or maybe you were all to begin with. Who knows?" And he was one of the writers who was blacklisted back in the day. Can't remember his name, but yeah, we don't. I mean, it's yeah, we can't be pure and free of politics, but it seems like the writers today are way more interested in putting in politics and have lost. I mean, because what's sexier than politics? Yeah, it's weird what happens. It's oh man, it's just like when you get old, you just see like people switch sides or see the yeah, it's weird. It's just weird. Like goodbye nudity on anything. Uh, before widespread VHS, etc., original Doctor Who writers just tried to make compelling watch for one view on BBC. Years later, still compelling to watch, says Aki Ross. Absolutely. Back in the day, it was written to be watched once. Is that a concept that can even sink into certain people? I mean, I have a hard time thinking about it. It was meant to be watched once and thrown away. They literally threw away some Doctor Who episodes, trashed them, recorded over them. Who would want to watch these again? That's ridiculous. Hell, that's what created comic books. They were meant to be read once and tossed. Who would want to read those again? They're silly little stories. Uh, all you can do is hope they don't come for one of our favorites. Maybe 10 years from now, they will come for the Expanse and fuck it up. Day and M, yes. Right now, we can only pray that it stays obscure, and that sucks. Uh, I got the new company car to work today. Oh, nice company car. Thing is, the thing has heated seats. My ass is warm right now. I've never experienced heated seats before. They're awesome, especially when you're in the Great White North up there. The 10 time this Doctor Who being a woman will be forgotten and retconned. Yes, Mr. Roboto, and I guarantee you they will retcon. They're going to retcon that the Doctor was maybe not I'll stick with originally a girl. I mean, I think they're going to retcon it that there is no sex or gender to a gal, but that doesn't make any sense. I mean, being a Time Lord is not just being from Gallifrey. Okay, Time Lords is a thing. Not everybody from Gallifrey can regenerate, and yeah, it's a process you got to go through. But I think they're going to mess with that. They're going to mess with they alluded to it in the article. Um, but it's just because every story has done this before in the last 5 or 6 years. Marvel, like I said, Marvel Comics has done everything before Doctor Who and Star Trek and Star Wars as far as what's going on in this current round of trend trope storytelling of let's sex swap everything or let's retcon this and to bring in their idea is we're trying to bring in more female readers and watchers, so we feel like we need to change the history to involve more women instead of just going forward and involving more women, which would be pretty simple. No, let's do it the hard way and the riskiest way, but you know what, they'll learn. They're not going to learn now. It'll be the next company who owns them, or after a few years after this thing crashes and burns, and they go, maybe we shouldn't have alienated. And no, it's not alienation because of the women. It's because you made Luke Skywalker drink off a teat of a fucking manatee and made him a bitter old fucking man, when this is a guy who basically threw his life down to save his father, who was long gone, on this little ray of hope that he felt with the Force. He went to the last two. I mean, the two people who could kill him pretty much the easiest. But that guy turned into a manatee, tit sucking, whatever. That's what we're talking about. Prime example. I mean, that's your meme. That's your poster. Is Mark Hamill taking a swig off the manatee milk, whatever the hell it was. I don't know what it was, and I don't care. The Orville. The Orville. The only negative about the Orville, Matt Guy, there's two. It's only on DVD, and it's taking too fucking long to come out. I don't want to wait another month and a half, but it'll be here soon. We will be covering every effing episode. Biggest mistake of this channel is we didn't cover every episode. We got on the last two. Huge mistake. Will not make that mistake again. Love the Orville. A belter on Earth is like a beached whale. Can't support its own weight, says Philip A. Demick. Great analogy. I should have thought of that. I watched TOS Galactica and loved it. It took me a while to get into RDM. Oh my God. What's RDM? I'm sorry. RDM. I probably should know this, but I don't, because I'm live streaming right now. And when you tell me, I'm going to go, oh, I'm so stupid. Agreed, says Feisty. Hi, Feisty. I think I don't know. At first, I had problems with Boomer as Starbuck being at first I had problems with Boomer and Starbuck being hot chicks. That is a prime example of sex swapping a character, people getting really pissed about it. I mean, really pissed about it. The problem is it just wasn't that big on the internet back then, or maybe it was. But it's a prime example of good writing brought everybody back. It brought everybody back. Just simply good writing. That's it. Fragminion. Now, if we could only get the BBC to go away and not come back. I know, right? All right. Now I am going way down here. I know I'm super behind on the chat. And I'm allowed to. Okay, disfigurement is good. Awesome. I'm still triggered by STD season 1 finale, says Ion Trump. Me too. And according to Midnight's Edge video, which I did not know, they tacked that ending on. They were going to do the original ending was going to be Georgiou being a member of Section 31, which they came out as they made that a special feature or something like that. I think what's going to be telling the most is just track the Blu-ray sales for season 1. Simply track the Blu-ray sales for season 1. No, Battlestar Galactica is a prime example of sex swapping perfectly. You did good writing, and that's what I said in my Doctor Who videos. Good writing will bring people back no matter what you do. If it's done well, you go, oh shit, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Worse than Inhumans? Is anything worse than the Inhumans? Star Trek Discovery is worse than the Inhumans. No, the Inhumans was pretty bad silhouetted animator. No. Like, no, The Gifted is much better than the Inhumans. Much, much better than the Inhumans. Which fight scene? The one with Michael Burnham and her XO, said Nigel. No, the one with her and Georgiou. at God, I can't remember if it's the second to last or third to last episode where they fought the two security guards. It was terrible. Isn't this channel and Midnight's Edge is isn't this channel and Midnight's Edge trolling when a lot of what you say is hate speak and Midnight's Edge throwing out fake news, says SC? Uh, oh, that broad term hate speech, SC. Yes. What's exactly hate speech? Is it criticism? Is that what hate speech is? Yeah, because I'm like full of hate. That's me, Mr. Hate. Here I come. And fake news. Okay. Give me an example of some fake news. Throw out some receipts, buddy. Uh, Inhumans was a crime. It absolutely was a crime. Absolutely was. And what a shame too, because it's a good property. I love Medusa. Medusa's awesome. One of my favorite characters. If my wife was a superhero, she'd be Medusa. She's got a head of hair like Medusa. My wife has got the craziest head of hair. If you see my wife, it looks like a wig. Like no, she has got the craziest head of hair. One of these days, I'll show you my favorite picture of her. The Church of Satan actually sued the new Sabrina. So I heard that silhouetted animator. Oh my god, that is funny. Um, I know. I don't know. 18 minutes in, and Sabrina and her friend agreed to form a female student group to take down white patriarchy. So I'm not allowed to watch," said Chris Persia. That's what kind of took me out too, because it's like, oh god. And there was some of that stuff in Runaways too, but it's mixed in with the character. And yes, I actually have read the Sabrina comic book, and it was better than this. Maybe just some stuff doesn't translate to screen. Please let Dennis do one Supergirl just to see if he pulls in the views, says Acuras. I don't know. We have tried, Aki, we have tried CW many, many, many times. I've given it many chances, and it just does not do well on this channel. So we'll see. We will see. I'm thinking about us covering the crossover event, the Elseworlds event. That's about as close as we'll get. Dennis is welcome anytime to do a review on something by himself. I would never stop him from doing that. But he is a busy boy. He'd be here every time. I mean, that's not like I exclude him. He just works. So he's working right now, and I do too, but my hours are very flexible. When right now I'm just kind of working on my own thing. It's not paying very well, but it's all good. It will. If you have to go to Canon Camp, you shouldn't be writing Star Trek, says Mage Grey Wolf. Exactly. Canon Camp. There shouldn't be a goddamn Canon Camp. Like a Canon Camp. You know how they used to do football camp to get the football to get women. Yes, they used to do this. I'm sure they still do to get more women into football. That if that existed to like if your partner is into something and you want to get into it, that is something that should exist for fans. And there you go, Star Trek. For all the you guys and gals who know Star Trek through and through, you want to make a few bucks on it, do a Canon Camp. Offer it to Hollywood because they obviously need it. But this Canon Camp, it wasn't even the Canon Camp, it was who ran it. And it was Kristen Bayer, who has 0 credits prior to Star Trek Discovery. And what is Star Trek Discovery most known for? What is the one thing that comes to your mind? The first thing you hear Star Trek Discovery. It's basically fake Trek. It's horrible Trek. It's Trek that destroys canon, bad Klingons, sonar in space, fucking cloaking device. Yeah. Man, how far behind I am. Kindness is golden. It really is. You got to do that. Disco fights were like watching as someone who has been in a fight and then leaves, tells professionals how to fight. It would be said if it wasn't so funny, play yakety sax with it. That is a lot, Nathan. And I'm a horrible reader. I'm sorry. Silhouette and Animator, $5 super chat. Sci-fi canceled Expanse so Krypton could have more sets and money. Ooh, that's terrible. And I think you might be right. Well, it depends. Like production companies pay for the shows. I don't know how it depends per show how much sci-fi actually pays for it. Sometimes they just buy the show from a company and sometimes they work a deal. And this is not stuff I really even thought that much about until I started the channel. And I used to work down there, but I didn't give a shit. I just edited. Nathan Norman says they pulled cost on Battlestar Galactica, the original series, as well when they canceled it. Yep, it was $1 million an episode in the 70s. That's a lot of money. I love both versions of Battlestar Galactica, and if you wanted to bring back like do something with the 70s version, I think that'd be fun. Best chat ever, says Feisty. Acts of kindness is what prevents you from joining the ranks of the SGWs, and being sane, says Chris Burstett. Yeah, compromise, kindness, willing to listen, not being super judgmental. Not not judging one person or judging the person's life on what they said about a property. The fact that I say openly and without regret or apology that I don't like the doctor being female. I've given my reasons for that. It's not because I'm sexist. It's because I just like the doctor the way it was, and I think sex swapping is a cheap way, and you've run out of ideas when that does. And I've seen it done a million times in comics. Like I said before, comic books made mistakes before television has even thought of them. Believe me, comic books are almost a test ground. Almost they were, and a failed test that they're continuing with. And yeah, when all is said and done, we can talk. We're seeing it happen right now. Oh, by the way, the US ratings are in for Doctor Who. It's at a 0.2. Last episode was 0.2. So we are now officially at Capaldi level ratings in the States. That lasted 4 episodes. Your big blast, bringing in a female doctor, spending all that money, making a worldwide sensation to get a 0.2 in America. And oh yes, we count. It's a revenue stream. You don't want to, when you have a revenue stream, you don't want to ever lose it because you count on it. It's part of your budget. I don't care how they fucking do things over there. They still need to make money to pay for their shows. So, and it's also a barometer of what's going on. So could ratings improve? Certainly. I believe Silver Spike told me, and Silver Spike knows her shit. She's cool. That guest writers are starting to come on, and it certainly improved Titans. Jeff Johns wrote the last 2 episodes, and they are better episodes. SC says Krypton is good. I totally disagree. I watched every episode. I tried. I thought it was good at one point, and then it turned into the dumbest storytelling I've ever seen. But it could turn around too. But again, it's got, it's like Akiva Goldsman. Akiva Goldsman and David Goyer keep getting work when they and Alex Kurtzman. Look at their body of work. Why do they keep getting work? You want to sex swap some people? Please sex swap freaking Alex Kurtzman, Akiva Goldsman, and David S. Goyer. I know there's 3 female writers who are much fucking better than they are. Please. You want to sex swap something? Jesus Christ. The big story in 2009, JJ wanted to basically kill off Star Trek merch to make his sell better. I know. And they almost fucking did it. They thought about it, but then they're like, yeah, what was reported? 20 million a year they make off of, again, a revenue stream that you want to kill that off for Chris Pine Kirk, who's going to last maybe 3 movies. It looks like it's 3 movies. Let me get back to my super chats here. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. I gotta have my window up. I lost my window, so if I miss some, I am sorry. And give me just a second. Talk amongst yourselves. Oh, while I get to that, back to more hate speech after this. Yeah, that's a dangerous term right there. Hate speech. Because yeah, criticizing a show can be considered hate speech. Me calling somebody an asshole who did something, you know, that deserved it could be considered hate speech. Maybe they're going to start giving me a ticket for cussing in public, kind of like in Demolition Man. That's what I told my kids. The revolution will start when that happens. Because it'll be considered hate speech in public and it'll be finable by $150 or something like that. It'll be like a parking ticket. And then it'll be cranked up from there. And yeah. Boom, boom. Sorry. I'm almost there. I'm almost there. God dang it, you son of a bitch. Why am I having so many problems? I usually don't know. Well, I'm usually set up beforehand. So there we go. Live streaming. I got this new thing. I got this new add-on so I can put up thumbnails prior to doing a live stream, which I've been waiting for forever. I know it probably means nothing to you, but when you see my videos in Google and stuff, it pulls the first thing from it because I have to add my thumbnails after I'm done. But there's an add-on now. There's a little add-on that you can do where you can put your thumbnails on first. So when people Google my videos, they don't. I mean, I love my little nerdrotic thing that Derek Robertson drew. By the way, Derek Robertson drew that. The girl doing this, that's Cosmic Crater Girl. It was created by Melissa and Derek Robertson. Derek Robertson, of course, from The Boys and Transmetropolitan, blah, blah, blah. And it was for actually something from the Comic Outpost in my old comic shop, and I brought it over. And yeah, now I can do thumbnails. Very excited about this. Oh, God. I'm not excited about this. Okay, finally. God damn it. Probably lost a million people, but sorry about that. Yeah, I suck. All right. So Silhouette Animator, $5. Sci-Fi canceled Expanse. So crypto. Okay, I already read that one. Okay, I'm caught up. All right, good. Well, I'll read it again, Silhouette Animator, because you paid $5. Sci-Fi canceled Expanse, so Krypton could have more sets and money. Maybe the one time James S.A. Corey, the writer for The Expanse, actually contacted, I know you guys have probably heard this story, but some of the new people haven't. The only time anybody from The Expanse has ever reached out to us was to correct us because I had heard another YouTuber say that they repurposed Battlestar Galactica sets for The Expanse, which is not true. They repurposed some of the strain or something like that. And yeah, they just corrected us. I don't, and I don't mind. I actually don't want to really connect with creators of shows. I like to, I'm not a fanboy in that sense. I never liked, knowing too many comic artists because it really, I feel restricted in what I can say. I feel like, although, I mean, I feel free to criticize The Expanse if I ever see something I don't like. I saw a couple things I didn't like last season. I thought it was a little rushed at the end. That wasn't their fault though. That was Sci-Fi's fault. And yeah, they had to put just a lot of stuff at the end, and they did as much as they could. And they actually did cut out some of the, I mean, sorry, James S.A. Corey, a couple of boring stuff from the book. But that was fine in the book, but it would have been really just too long on TV. So thank you, Mary Ashmead, for being a good wrench. JJ is kind of turning into a franchise leech. He is the reason he's going out for that big deal now before episode 9 comes out is the exact reason why a veteran sports ball player will like hold out before the last year of his contract to get more money because he knows he's about to get cut. He's getting too old and they're about to cut him. So hold out a year earlier so you can get your money before you actually get cut. Bobby Beathard used to say, I'd rather get rid of a good player a year too early than a year too late. Same applies here in Hollywood. Talent only lasts a certain amount of time. You're only on top a certain amount of time. JJ is just trying to get his. That's all he's trying to do. And this is the best time to do it because after episode 9 comes out, his name and brand will be tainted. It already is, but it will get worse. We have a €5 super chat from Brent Newman. Why is that blocking me? Have a pizza on me. Drink them if you got them. Brent, thank you so much. And I will. I'll have another one today. I need to re-up for later. Yeah, you guys are fucking awesome, man. I am sorry I'm so behind in the chat, but guess what? I've got time. Do you have time? I have time. I have time. Jay Week says, I like disco also until my sister threatened to banish me. Yes, yeah. My sister was mean. What's up, CD Horde? Did you say that like an hour ago? I'm sorry. Mako's here. What's up, Mako? I'm gonna just the show is Titans, not Teen Titans. Yes, they're not going to call it Teen Titans because they think it sounds lame. The show is based on the Teen Titans. Go to the DC universe, which I have paid for, and see what they associate with it. And it's not the Titans comic books, or but it's the Marv Wolfman, George Perez Teen Titans comic books that the all new Teen Titans SC. So again, no, it's Teen Titans. Now they're bringing in a lot of the new 52 garbage. I'm sorry, I sold it. Some of it was okay. I mean, some of it was okay, but it's largely just really bad. It's a bad time for DC. When Marvel was kicking their butt, they were selling them. Well, they're still kicking their butt, which sucks because DC's actually better right now. But bad story, bad box office, whatever. Yes, I agree with you, CD Horde. No, Rod Perlman is not starring in the next Hellboy movie. Cordell Fenival. It is David Harbour. Stephanie B, what's up? Hail Stephanie B. Fuck yeah. She's always I just see her smiling in her avatar, so I call her Smiling Stephanie B. So I just always imagine you smiling and being happy. I mean, I'm sure you're probably not that way, but that's how I've got it pictured in my head. Just a little ray of sunshine. They're not going to try to remake Demolition Man in the future because it's an SJW NPC paradise and they only want to change sci-fi that doesn't agree with the current doctrine. Kind of, yeah. When Demolition Man becomes prophetic, it's not good. And San Angeles, hey, if it wasn't for Camp Pendleton, folks, San Angeles would exist. It would be a megalopolis. A megalopolis is just you wouldn't tell the difference between, well, you can't now. If it wasn't for, there's a place, so in Southern California, San Diego is, as you're looking at the map, below Los Angeles. And when you drive through Orange County and hit North County, San Diego, you would never be able to tell the difference if it wasn't for this big marine base called Camp Pendleton, which is, by the way, on some of the most expensive real estate in the world. It's all like beachfront and freaking beautiful, and it's just filled with bombs and mines now and big helicopters and tanks and shit. And if you live near that base, by the way, it always sounds like a war zone. They're always, testing. So I'm used to like hearing bombs off in the distance and stuff. Yeah, sonic booms. Yeah, Demolition Man. I do like that movie though. I fucking love that movie. Uh, it's all taboo branding, false accusations that really amount to uncontrolled slander. And a lot of that is going on. Believe me. Kurtzman isn't great, but has made tons of Hollywood money. Has he? I would say that balances out with the Dark Universe. That was a big loss of money. That was a big loss of money. That's why people pretend not to know about Weinstein, because he got them a lot of work. Yep. Believe me, there's people out there who know stuff that could bury that guy forever. CD Horde says black helicopters flying over my place right now. LO is sorry. Akuda manuals, not canon. LOL. Sometimes I don't want to live on this planet anymore, but when I go to the Rigel way, I just stay and irritate people. I'll just stay and irritate people. Hey, whatever it takes, Mako. Um, whatever it takes, man. That's okay. That's playing your part. That's so funny. By the way, Farscape rules, people. Farscape fucking rules. Looking at a search for Netflix top 10, not seeing STD anywhere, especially when it's a CBS show. Yeah. Telling you, keep track of the Blu-ray sales. I don't know. I don't know. It's okay to bash, but when you make it a mission to kill it self-admittedly, and the franchise. Okay, so when I make it a point to say I don't like this show and I really love to see it fall apart, it makes it hate speech. No. Hate speech is an insidious term made to control a very broad. It's very broad, ambiguous, and allows you to insert it anywhere. I don't like you can be considered hate speech. So no, nice try. Sex swapping Dr. Fate is perfectly acceptable, which it is, because it is a haunted helmet. Sex swapping Doctor Who ignores 12 regenerations rule, and the Doctor and his daughter could have inherited the TARDIS, says Philip Demick. Yes, bring in a female Time Lord, make her better than the Doctor if you want to. Build her up as a character, make us like her, and give us 12 seasons of her, and I am fucking down. So down. Hell yes. Let's do it. Thinking that you cannot develop a female character in time or well enough for people to like, so let's just slap a label on her because she basically it's a girl and she can't do it as well as a guy. That's sexist. That's textbook sexist. So in tripping over themselves not to be sexist, they being the BBC were actually sexist. But when you see the world in 2 dimensions, that's kind of how it rolls, man. Think about shit a little bit. And I thought the future portrayed in Demolition Man was there for some comedy relief. Yes, it was supposed to Milwinius Serrano Alfrem from York. You are correct, sir. It was supposed to be parody. It was supposed to be funny. Live long enough to see your parody come true. $2. Which episode of Farscape am I watching now? Ask Viking Bitch for $2. $2. Give me a second because I don't know the names off the top of my head. I don't know if these are in order though. Gosh dang it. Okay, I'll get back to you on that one. Viking Bitch. It's either Out of Their Minds or My Three. No, I haven't seen My Three Crichtons yet. I'm like 8 or 9 in. I'm having fun. Review will be with Viking Bitch and Feisty Fan in hopefully, can you guys do a week? Maybe a week from now. But I have to get, thank you for the super chat, Viking Bitch. The biggest problem with these writers is that we have to consume entertainment. It's not like they're oil producers, so you're going to buy it no matter what. Exactly. JJ is a great starter and an idea band, but he couldn't finish anything. It's a miracle that this man has any kids. I know that was always my joke, Nathan. Is like ask. I don't know if there is a Mrs. Abrams, but ask Mrs. Abrams if he's ever good at finishing anything. I know it's terrible, but it's right there. It's right there. Adam West is here. It would come under hate speech laws. Yeah, hate speech laws. Hate speech laws. Yeah. I'm glad I live in America. Really am. Hello, Stephanie B. Where I can freely criticize a TV show and not be called a hate speaker because I think a show sucks and shouldn't exist. The fact is, let me let you in on a little secret. By the way, I assume the SC is not a complete idiot and you're taking everything I say literally. Okay. I don't really care if Star Trek Discovery exists or not. I truly don't. It can exist all day long and suck for years. It would do nothing but help our channel. That's it. It would suck for Star Trek. You're ruining an IP. So I'm trying to play my little part, not thinking it's actually going to do anything. I'm very aware of how many subscribers we have and how limited our reach is. I'm very grateful for the amount of people who come in and who are cool and we hang out. But if I don't know how old you are, kind of feel like I want to say kiddo. Yeah, don't take it so literally. It's all right. Have a little fun. Yeah, I remember when I had a stick firmly lodged up my ass. It felt so much better when I pulled it out. I had a little help from some friends, but we all go through that time, right? Or maybe it was just me. I think we're more in an idiocracy than demolition, man. Upside is we get President Camacho. That's his Alpha Crow, right? Absolutely. Loved your tweet this morning. Oh, my only political statement for 2018, and that'll probably be for the next 2 years, to be honest with you, because I didn't make one in 2017. I really go out of my way to never say anything political because I don't assume you guys give a fuck what I think. I am right now. I'm currently an ex comic retailer, soon to be a retailer again. Guy on YouTube, has a couple kids, owns a home, has a wife, a couple cars, very middle class. Just doing my thing. I don't know. I cannot. I don't care enough to even say anything political. Shave my beard, then you'll be 25% less hateful. Oh, is that it? Is it the beard? Is the beard? I can shave 25% of my beard. I'm seriously considering that. It's out of control right now. Problem is, last time I tried to do that, you guys all saw what happened. It was naked face, baby face, nerdrotic, not good. You will find STD in the bottom 10 of the Netflix list, says Jay Wiggs. You're right. Censorship is what that guy is advocating. Absolutely. We are not going to agree. We are not going to agree. If you're down with here's my political party. Don't tell me what to fucking do and don't tell me what to say. And we're good. We are solid. You can be socialist, Republican, whatever. I don't care what you can identify as. Just don't tell me what to do. And we're solid. I'm cool. I think most of us feel that way. Like, can we just do our thing and we promise not to hurt anybody. Words can't hurt anybody. People can choose to turn something off if they want to. They can sub, they can walk away. You're not entitled to not be offended, and that's the way it goes. But at least here, I'm not gonna go out of my way. Listen, I am super easy on Star Trek. There is so many fucking people who are worse. There's no name calling or anything other than it sucks. It just sucks. But honestly, had backed away for a little while. I was going to kind of wait till the show comes out so I can just talk about the content, because that's what I try to keep it at the content and the people producing the content, but not them and their personal lives or what they look like or anything. That's not it. I'm sure, Akiva Goldsman might be the nicest motherfucker in the world, and I might feel bad for giving him so much shit. Doesn't change how I feel about his writing. Star Trek responded to something that I had to point out. Otherwise, I'm done talking about it until, the short comes out tomorrow. Oh, it comes out tomorrow. We'll see what happens. It's written by Michael Chabon. Now, that's why I produced that video about Michael Chabon, because, and by the way, that's somebody I've talked to before multiple times. He did a comic thing. Okay. He did a comic thing. And when people do comic things, they tend to talk to comic shop owners. We'll just leave it at that. In private, a perfectly nice dude. But again, I don't want to get, if the episode sucks, I'm going to say it. And I don't want to not say it and worry about pissing off a friend. That's why I don't want to get too close to the creatives. I'd rather hang with you guys. I'm just a I'm a regular idiot on the internet. Just a regular idiot. Am I hate speeching myself? Is SC cause? Is it? Yeah. Hang on. Let me see. I can view these messages. That's okay, Mary. Let it go. If he gets, it looks like Star Trek has its defenders. It's all right. Let it go. Fanboys winning isn't a big deal as making a $1 billion. Star Trek's not making $1 billion. Where are you getting those numbers from? No, it's not about fanboys winning. No, it's not. Plus, I'm a fan man, not a fanboy. I own my basement that I dwell in. It's all right. We can let it go, Mary. I know you're looking out, but I'm looking at these messages and they're fine. The whole production of Solo was a mess. It showed the film and the money. Yeah, it sucked. The fourth new Trek film, I think, will tank. Nathan, I don't think it's going to exist. And if it does, Megan Fox will save us. No. If the fourth Trek film does not have Chris Pine, I mean, as much as unless it's just about Bones and they follow Carl or Urban around, which would be fine. The last one tanked. Nobody likes this Trek anymore. I think it got to 3 movies based on a very good cast that was given horrible writing by Alex Kurtzman. Alex Kurtzman did not make a bunch of money. The reason we're not getting a Star Trek 4 is because the Paramount is reduced their budget and actually reneged on giving Chris Pine the money that he was promised. So that's why he walked. He didn't walk for more money. He walked because they didn't want to give him the money that they agreed on. I don't know if it was verbally or something like that, but that's why I will take Chris Pine's side on that. Yeah, it's millions of dollars, but if they promised it, then fucking pony up. And guess what? If you have a good movie, he'll get paid. Everybody will get paid, but you're not going to get a good movie. Do. Being a champion for shitting on Trek to get clicks, isn't that trolling? No, trolling SC is it's not even what you're doing right now. No, you're just asking questions. That's fine. I will say that trolling is going in and just wanting to be an agent of chaos. No, not necessarily. I still love Trek. Now, as far as doing stuff to get clicks, if I'd be an idiot if I was a YouTuber not doing stuff to get clicks. All titles are clickbait. They're supposed to get you to watch. I talk about everything in my titles. It's kind of open on the live stream. So if I end up not, I will change it when I can to reflect more that we actually talked about when it turns into a video. But yeah, that dude, this argument, my God, it is so fucking old. So it might be your perspective. So I see a lot of chat, I see a lot of comments, and the two we get the most is, aren't your titles clickbait and your reviews are too long? Yes, is my answer. But I mean, if you don't like it here, then why are you here? Unless I don't know, did somebody from Screenrant sent you, or are you just that big of a Star Trek Discovery fan? Give me what are your three favorite things from Star Trek Discovery? Is it Michael Burnham because she's awesome, and then Michael Burnham because she's awesome, and Tilly because Tilly's silly. Yeah. To illustrate the sad state of Star Trek, consider this. Bob and I went to see Star Trek Nemesis, and there were maybe 6 to 8 people in the theater when I saw it. Stephanie Littlepage, exactly. Believe me, if I had a YouTube channel then, I'd be shitting all over that. Comrade Bernfred Axe Wilder is in the house. Yo, what's up? I heard nothing changes for the next 2 years. In what? In Merca? Yep, that's it. As long as it doesn't get any worse, right? STD doesn't even have 800,000 viewers. There's nothing to be happy about. Nope. STD. Yeah, maybe it. Yeah, I don't know if it. Yeah, again, if there were good numbers, they would share them. Why would they keep them to themselves? The only company that has good numbers that keeps to itself is Netflix. You want to know why? Because they're on the fucking top and they don't need to share anything. They don't need. They are the freaking Disney's looking up at Netflix, folks. And yeah, yeah, Netflix can throw around stupid money on something for only so long, though. And here's why: because Amazon's coming after him. Here's why: Jeff Bezos has his own money. Netflix is still largely living off of investor money, but their value is going up. So that's kind of changing. And things have really changed for them in the last 3 years. It's talked about the Marvel deals they made. The reason they're kind of like backing out and don't, because they don't fucking need them anymore. And yes, they overpaid for the Marvel. They vastly overpaid for Marvel. And guess what they're doing? Cutting that shit. And is anybody going to tell me that Star Trek Discovery is better than Luke Cage? I'll even say Iron Fist is better than Star Trek Discovery, but Luke Cage is way better than Star Trek Discovery. Daredevil, Star Trek Discovery, and Daredevil, you can't even compare those two. That's silly. $5 super chat from Fragminion. My three favorite things about STD: Cox rants. I don't pay CBS Online any money, and more Cock rants. Awesome. They really are my favorite thing. Also, if you know anything about this channel, we oh well, we don't exclusively give Star Trek Discovery shit. I give Krypton shit. Doctor Who currently giving it shit. But we love the Expanse counterpart, Taboo, Venture Brothers, Farscape. I know I'm missing some there. I said counterpart, right? Taboo. First season of Westworld. I still love Game of Thrones, even though I was kind of mad about the season 7, but it's the show as a whole, I still like. Yeah, we cover a ton of good shit. Oh, and the fucking Orville. We love the Orville. The Orville fucking rules. Uh, and let's see how Night Flyers is. We're gonna give it a shot. The goddamn thing's on Sci-Fi, so we know we're gonna get like what 3 seasons. You can't be good without growth. Your God is nowhere. It's such a positive statement from somebody with a "Your God is nowhere." I like that. No, it's funny. That's good. Uh, I just found out Kurtzman and Orsi did a commentary for Star Trek Six. Why and FS? Who let them put? They did. Oh God. I thought Nemesis was the last nail in the Star Trek coffin, says Comrade Bernfred Putin's axe wielder. But then came along Jar Jar Abrams and STD. Yep. Desecration. Kind of like what Brock did to the mummy. You know, everybody knows that when you kill a mummy, you have to dismember it and desecrate it or it comes back, right? Which means pissing on it. Um, uh, JD Brisbois says Doug Jones, beautiful Europa class ships, Orion Marketplace. The Orion Marketplace was 3 extras, and Farscape did better marketplaces. I like Doug Jones, man. I got nothing bad. I feel bad for Doug Jones. The ships are okay. Yeah, they're okay. Um, like how we get afford all these streams, says Kronos. You're not going to pay $5.99 for. I bet you Big Brother gets like way better ratings, and that costs them dick, right? I mean, that costs them nothing. And there is a hardcore Big Brother audience out there. Um, Christ, our one of our old co-hosts is super into that stuff. Um, Star Trek needs a total hard reboot, only keeping Enterprise as loose cannon affiliation, and then make a plain as day that it's a reboot. Nathan Norman, yes. Disney is drooling to buy the Trek franchise. Jay Weeks. They might be able to, if it keeps going, they might be able to get it at a discount rate. Luke Cage soundtrack is so underrated. JD, it is fucking great. It is great. Great, great, great. Certain channels want to stay on the studio's good side so they can score the occasional interview. Captain Robert April, exactly. Trust me, that'll never happen here. Never. Um, I love good television. I love good art. I'll appreciate the artist. I am not impressed by the artist, though. No, you know what impresses me? A dude with 50 year or a woman with 50 years sober. That shit impresses me. Uh, yeah, being able to pretend, good artist. While it's awesome, and I love art. I love art, and it's beautiful, and not everybody can do it. Um, it's just I like the art, not the artist. That's why I can separate. I mean, like I don't follow James S.A. Corey because I know what their Twitter is all about. And I'm like, I'm just gonna not follow them. And it's that easy. It's that easy. And then I don't get inundated by, I still get like, God damn, the Twitter feed was just election, 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 election. And I just like, ugh. So yeah. So I made my one political statement on Twitter and I'm just glad it's over. You were going to say that the one who drops the deuce on the grave of disco symbolizes new life, symbolizing new life. How many of the Big Brother audience watches it for occasional sex and nipple slip? Oh, Mako. My guess, 90%. Is that wrong? You think it's too much, too little? 99%? Um, every voyeur in the world is given something to do. I mean, honestly, it serves a purpose in life. Uh, this is why they're all going to go broke. Is 1999 stream times 20 of them. Uh, Well, then you all lose, or we all lose, says Kronos Crying. Exactly. All these streams are going to get built up. We're at introductory prices, but it's going to eventually get up. The pricing point's going to be between $14.99 and $20.99. And that, for me personally, if I wasn't doing a show and it was just me, it three tops. I would subscribe to three. I promise you, two of them are going to be Amazon and Netflix. And it's who's that third? Is it Hulu? Is it Disney? Is it CBS All? I mean, CBS All Access isn't in the top freaking 20. And I don't know if there's 20 streaming services. I mean, Crunchyroll, DC, for me, it would probably be DC Universe just because I'm a comic book fan. Mage Grey Wolf says, I was blocked on Ghost Brothers News on Facebook for being critical of the 2016 movie. Yep. Also, I think, trolling, it's, listen, if you're critical once in a while, if a Facebook group wants to block you, that's their right. I mean, it is their right. If you were just critical once, that's bullshit. I mean, if you're critical like multiple times, I mean, just over and over and over again on somebody else's group, then I mean, they're kind of free to do what they want. They're groups for a reason, precisely that. Now, it's a different story if you're an open forum or if you're a website. Now, it's my channel, so I decide what goes up here and what gets clicks, what doesn't, or just something I like to do because it's fun. Like Venture Brothers, I like to do that because it's fun. We mostly like to talk about good on this channel. It's vast majority of what we do. It's just been kind of it goes through phases, man. It goes through phases. Right now, we're the only two shows we're covering consistently is Doctor Who and Titans. Both Titans got off to a rough start, but as I stated earlier, I kind of liked the last episode. I did. It was written by Jeff Johns and Akiva Goldsman, and it had like my favorite DC team in it. So that has a lot to do with it. I get biased. So I try not to be as much as I can, but I don't have to be because I'm not I'm not a critic. I'm just a dude with a microphone. So I am not tied to any rules, man. I just try to like entertain you guys and have fun. And yeah. And if you don't like my criticizing Star Trek, then don't come here if you don't want to. That's cool. I mean, we cool with that. I mean, I'm not going to go to a channel that praises Star Trek Discovery over and over again because it would just irritate me. So why seek out irritation? I actually don't look for Star Trek news every day. I don't. Sometimes it just lands in my lap, but this is related to somebody we know. This is related to, and it's also a big deal that this channel like got under the skin of CBS so much so they felt like they needed to respond. I think that's interesting. I think that shows that they are listening. I think that's interesting. Brian Fuller is a serial franchise killer, but and like what a wasted potential, right, Mako? Wasted potential. That guy is really fucking good. He's a good writer who cannot finish fucking anything. Did you see the finished bridge on the USS Ares? This is how you do pre-cage starship interior CBS tards, all of them. There is no excuse to do STO ships in the cage era show. Exactly, comrade. And I haven't seen it, but I will go and see it. And I trust you, man. Exactly. You don't have to make it perfect. You just have to show some goddamn effort. And that was my whole point of my video with the map with Star Trek. It wasn't that the map might have been accurate. I mean, I don't know for sure. Okay. Cause like, I'm not like super Trekky. All right. But the fact is they did their boot camp and it clearly shows it was maybe an hour, 2 hour lunch meeting where somebody took maybe 5 minutes to squiggle out a map. And that was their boot camp. And that shows the effort taken in this beloved franchise that people make their own bridges for the USS Ares out of love, or they do Stage 9 out of love. They make Axanar out of love. Star Trek continues. And then you got these guys I half-assed what doesn't even begin to describe what that fucking map was. And then it's hate speech if we went, hey, you guys aren't good at this. You're not putting any effort into it at all. And then when we point that out, hate speech. Sure. Um, I gave Disco a fair shake. I watched all of season one. There was necessary. Uh, Rape scenes and desolation of canon was a major turnoff. Yeah, torture, um, dropping f bombs because you can. It was silly and out of place and stupid. And yeah, the show wanted to be dark and then it wanted to be funny the next moment. It was like it. Listen, it was a hastily put together, reshot mess, and it looked like it. I am going to do one more Star Trek video before the season starts. That's not covering the show, and it's on what I'll call the Lorchestration. His plan is so freaking dumb. It's the dumbest plan. Wait for the video. Because like I didn't notice how dumb it was because I was recapping. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. They said this and that, but like when you really think about it, you're like, what? Professional writers wrote that. Um, Hulu is still running the Awesomes. I didn't know they had one because that's the only thing on that service I have ever given a damn about, says Frag Minion. What's up, Jez Oldfield? How are you? How's it going? For the record, the only reason I even have CBS All Access is those times when I don't have access to TV and can't watch my soaps. Stephanie Littlepage, that is okay. I subscribe to it as well, and I do watch the hell out of the Twilight Zone that's on there. And maybe you guys lost this in the last stream. They're reimagining Twilight Zones. Like they're going to write some new ones, but the Jordan Peele one is going to be reimagining old classic Twilight Zones. Mm-hmm. I won't subscribe to any 8-bit Snake Boy says I won't subscribe to any service. It's bad enough having to pay for the BBC. All their good programs are long gone or moved elsewhere, in my opinion. That's a good opinion. I got to check out the Venture Brothers because you say it's good. Kronos, Chiron. If you're a comic book fan, if you like old Saturday morning cartoons, it started out as a parody of Johnny Quest and turned into something beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It's hard to explain. It just needs to be watched. It should hook you immediately. It's one of the best written shows. Yes, it's a cartoon. It's one of the best written shows on television by two of the most talented people I have ever seen. Their sole focus has been this show for the last decade when they could have done a million other things, and it shows. Jay Wiggs says, I just realized I'm blocked on the STD Facebook because I said something a year ago that I have no idea what it was except something bad. Plenty of reasons not to like Discovery. Why does Midnight's Edge have to make up shit? They didn't. SC, they didn't. I listen. I have talked to Tom in the past, and Rob. I haven't talked to Andre ever. And believe me, they don't do things half cocked. They have sources. They double check their sources. They are essentially a news organization. If you don't like what they hear, but a rebuttal from Screenrant doesn't mean they freaking lied. I would believe Midnight's Edge over Screenrant every single time. Every single time. Screenrant is maybe you know what I'll do? Next Nooner, I'll just pluck 5 articles from Screenrant that are obvious shilling, just to show you. Um, Dennis and I look at this stuff like multiple times a day for 4 years. We've been doing this for 4 years. I mean, we've only been hardcore YouTubing for about a year, but we've been doing a podcast for 4 years and learning this stuff. And I'm really, really good at reading between lines. It's something I had to do, uh, and sussing out bullshit. Just part of how I've gotten through life. And especially in the comic book, when I owned a comic book shop in the comic industry, uh, yeah, if you weren't reading between lines and cut through bullshit, you weren't doing something right. I mean, that's how it rolls in that industry. It's a pretty shady industry. Yeah, and the entertainment industry is really shady. Right now, all I have is CBS All Access, although I might get Amazon Prime started back up when we're in a better place. Stephanie, yeah, I definitely that'd be the second one I pick, just because the shows that I wouldn't do it right now, but I'd wait till like Good Omens comes in. That looks great. And The Expanse. Brett Newman, thank you for the $2. In the land of the blind and one-eyed man is king. £2. No, why do I say pounds? Why do I say pounds all the time? That is euros. That is euros. I was like, I gotta know. I like that's from a Dutch philosopher. That's some deep stuff, man. I have not heard that, and I love it. Dutch philosopher Erasmus lived from 1466 to 1536. That's a good long time for back then. Yes, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. Fuck yeah, dude. Brent Newman, thank you. Screenrant is garbage. Yeah, they are. They're a shill for the media. They always have been, and for quite some time. Um, they used to be good. They used to be good and just informational. It's ever since freaking Gamergate started. Like the shilling has gotten worse. Everything has gotten worse. Why do you think people have naturally come to YouTube? They're reading this stuff and they're like, this doesn't look like what's really going on. I hear this company saying a lot of things, but their actions are completely opposite from what they're saying. And we have constant reviews that Star Trek Discovery is good. Who could possibly think that is a good show? Even defenders of it say it's not that good of a show. But we have people, I mean, like, let's go to the Rotten Tomatoes right now on Star Trek Discovery and see what it says. I'm gonna put Rotten Tomatoes STD and see what comes up. Star Trek Discovery. It was the second thing to come up, but come on. That's pretty good. I just think that's funny. Yes. Rotten Tomatoes STD. There we go. Let's see what it says. Yeah, still 82% critic score. Look at that audience score. Dumb pop up. Let's get it out of there. Oops. 82% and 55% audience score. That's up from 47, I believe. It's only 7,045 votes and 64 reviews, 50 fresh, 14 rotten. So 50. I bet you one of them is Screenrant. Let's see if they're on the first page. If they're not, whatever. Discovery has looked great since its premiere. The characters have grown on me. Oh, really? There have been some surprises along the way, and there's a huge upside to doing Star Trek in a somewhat different way. Star Trek Discovery seeks its own personality within the saga and its own way of finding it. All right. That's not good or bad. In short, Discovery announces a series of high ambition fit to propose for its fit for purpose for the golden age of TV. Uh, it's got enough good stuff to keep me watching. Nonetheless, it feels a bit too obsessed with Star Trek for its own sake, rather than a vehicle for telling stories with broader resonance. And they called that a fresh review. I would call that a tepid review. Uh, oh my god! And like I say, the Discovery really wanted to end the season on such on a bunch of big emotional notes, reaffirming the ideas of the Federation as something to strive for, and end with a shot for the fans to cheer for. It did not succeed. That was IO9. You want to talk about somebody who would be friendly to that freaking show? That's funny. Yeah, fuck that show. Yes. But I'm not going to sit and argue forever. Take the argument to Midnight's Edge, and they will show their receipts. Again, they will have their reasons for doing it, and yeah, I'm sure they're going to be live streaming at some point. Go take it there, man. Talk to them. I will say that I do have one source with that show. Now I have reached out to that source. I have not heard back, but from what I've heard, it sounds very consistent to everything I've heard. If CBS doesn't want it to get like the best thing CBS could have done is not responded at all. The fact that they responded, there you go. And again, what I pointed out very early on, and other very intelligent people pointed out in the chat, what about the short treks then? If it's such a non-risk and this money is meaningless, why aren't the short treks available in Europe? And they won't be. They're not going to be when season 2 drops. They're not going to be. And guess what? You're not missing anything. They're in empty spaceships. They were shot hastily between scenes. Comrade Burford, exactly. Good point. Comrade Burford Axfielder says 55% positive ratings must be because STD is on hiatus now. The horror, the horror has subsided, right? Yes, it has, and will. With all of this hate speech crap, are these people for real? All they really do is label everything and attempting to discredit it. What happened to a discussion? Yes. What happened to an argument? Discussion, facts. You're a bad man. Stop talking, because your bad words make me feel uncomfortable. It's not something I attempt to do, and I don't do a lot here. So it's kind of weird for it to be brought up here, to be honest with you. But I've gotten that yeah, it's the weirdest responses I've gotten is from Star Trek defenders. Uh, uh, how do you feel the S464 and Kimberly McManus romance will be picked up in the next season for Venture Brothers? Because I'm hoping for a happy ending, because I'm an old romantic. I'm rooting for those two kids. I really am. It's the Venture Brothers. So, I kind of think they're romantics too. I think those kids are going to end up together. Shit. Like they actually got Dr. Girlfriend Mrs. Monarch on their side. Guy, I dig their. I hope they get together. So it's Avenger Brothers. So either one of them's going to die or they're going to end up together, but it'll cause something else. And if something bad happens, it'll be Rusty's fault. Uh, 0 ratings that were given out, not counted by Rotten Tomatoes. Yep. Rotten Tomatoes, that was pointed out by another YouTuber who I forgot, that they don't count, they count so many like mediocre reviews as positive. It's all bullshit. It's actually much, much worse. I think it was Jeff at World Class Bullshitters. I think it was Jeff. LOL. Rotten Tomato comments are from CBS. Yep. Do you don't think a company would hire people to defend it? They would, and they have, and they do. It wouldn't take much, and they could probably buy. It probably don't even have to pay them money. Probably send them a free Blu-ray or give them a, early access. Yeah, it's absolutely silly. Go Team Venture. That's what we're talking about. Go Team Venture. CBS's Mary changed to STD. Reshoots and decline in subs are the most important responses to fan criticism, Gary. Pointing out facts. You got to point out facts and just what's out there in the air that we know about. Just look at the general. You know what I'd love to see is jump shots. Jump shot probably has some data. I wonder if you can pay for it and get it. Jump shot's the one who has the data on the Daredevil show, which showed that the interest had dropped 57% from season 2. I bet you they have data. I mean, you can pay for their data. I went to their website. I don't know how much it costs, but I'd be willing to pony up a couple bucks to find out what the interest is based on their algorithm, as long as it's not like, it's probably really expensive, but if it was like a couple hundred bones, sure, why not? I'll find out. I'll look into it. I've never like really cared, but I'll look into it. Mary, also don't forget they stole the whole premise from DS9, J. Michael Straczynski's Babylon 5, and had to settle it out of court. Exactly. And of course, we can't forget Anas Abdeen, our friend Anas Abdeen, who I saw this. I got to share this with everybody. This was tweeted at me this morning. I retweeted it, and it was tweeted from Beartown. I wonder what that one is. Here we go. Let's share this tweet from Beartown. Tweeted this at me. Thank you, Beartown. It's funny as hell. For Anas Abdeen. I think this is pretty accurate. I think this is good. Star Trek Discovery plagiarized from tardigrades created by Anas Abdeen. Allegedly. Oh, yes. So as I will state, God, we talked way more Star Trek than I intended to, and I'm not going to do another video, but maybe other people will be, and I'm sure Midnight's Edge will be doing a live stream on this to discuss it. Maybe I think maybe they have. I don't know. And they yeah. Again, I believe them. I believe them just based on what I know. But I'll always tell you, watch The Expanse. It's a better show. And if you're into sci-fi that actually makes sense and they get into the science and really well-developed characters, watch The Expanse. Star Trek fans, you will be, I think I said that at the end of every recap for season 1. You would be nothing but happy. Don't be blindly loyal to a brand. It's, because they don't care about you. They don't. And it sucks because they should. Star Trek fans deserve so much better. And this is never a criticism of the Star Trek fans. Got no problem with you. Some of you might like this stuff, and that's fine. But I don't. And I want Star Trek fans to be happy. I want them to be, all their years of putting in work and money and time into a brand that has frankly treated you like shit lately. And it's not cool. Somebody's got to look out for the fans. All right. And I don't think I don't put myself as like a leader. That just once in a while I'll pop in and go, hey, don't fuck with the fans, man. You won't be around long if you do. Comrade says, I'm late. So what did CBS say, by the way? Don't want that shit on my holy sacred European soil. There's been enough horror and bloodshed here anyway. CBS said that, well, they didn't say anything. Screenrant, citing a blog from a site called REDDEF, which I have never heard of, but that doesn't mean shit. Uh, through that has said that they paid for season 2 and they overpaid for season 2. So CBS Midnight's Edge reported that I believe that Netflix demanded a reduced price for season 2. I don't know if please go to their video and check it out to get the exact wording. The rebuttal to that was nope. Netflix paid for all of it, and this is absolutely no risk whatsoever to CBS. Which, if Netflix had bought the short treks, I would believe, but they didn't. So, and I know, and I said before, comrade, and you know this too. Midnight's Edge doesn't pop off; they don't. CBS's okay, I've already read that one. God dang, maybe I'm getting a little. Limac, how are you? So, in the whole CBS Moonvis, etc. Bordello, what would be the best scenario for the future of Star Trek? Reemerge with Viacom? Yes, I think so. I think once the merger happens in a couple of years and Sherry Redstone takes over, because I think that is inevitable at this point. Apparently, all the Moonvis board members are gone, and it's just filled with her, and it's just waiting. So I think we get status quo. I don't think Kurtzman will actually go anywhere for a couple of years unless this thing completely crashes and burns, and it's not gonna. Is whether the Picard series is good or bad, people are going to be into it and defend it more than they would Star Trek Discovery because Patrick Stewart's in it. So if you think the defense for Star Trek Discovery was bad, if the Picard series is bad, the defense will be tenfold with Patrick Stewart. It will be. It'll be nasty. It's going to get super nasty if that show is bad. If it's good, I'll be the first person to admit it's good. And hell, let's enjoy some good Star Trek. Fuck it, that'd be great. But we'll see. There's a couple of shit storms coming. I believe that might be one of them. If the show turns out bad, like I said before, it'll be bad. And I think just totally unrelated in the MCU, if Captain Marvel does have the kill punch on Thanos, which I've been predicting for 2 years, you will see a shitstorm kind of like the Star Wars one for the MCU. But that either one might not happen, and it might be just a moot point. So sounds like you go ape shit watching After Trek because they are all kings of the brown nosing. Says Stephanie. I tried to watch I think 5 minutes of one episode, and I was like, nah. So we did our own. We made our own After Trek, and it did pretty good. When Star Trek Discovery came out, we had 300 subs. Well, I just got some good Doctor Who news. Fragminion says, my Doctor Who Shot a DVD just came in the mail. Oh, fuck. I think it's still, it's like in my basket on Amazon. I think it's in my basket on Amazon. Oh my God. Here I go again, shopping on the fucking live stream. This is not good. I don't recommend this. This is like going grocery shopping when you're hungry. When you're live streaming and you start talking about all this stuff, and then, yep, there it is in my cart. Damn it. I'm going to buy it. How many, I mean, like I have so many versions of Shada. I have some like an audio version and, but it's on Blu-ray. It's one of the, so guys, explain to me over there in the UK, why are we coming out with the 5th Doctor's first season on Blu-ray and the 4th Doctor's first season on Blu-ray? And then, I can't get seasons 2 through 7 on Blu-ray from the 2005 series, and there's no Blu-ray for the 3rd Doctor. Like, what the fuck are you doing over there? Could you please just give me all the shit on Blu-ray and I'll buy it? I'll give you my money. I'll give you my fucking money. The Tom Baker Blu-ray, I'm going to review it on my Patreon, is just awesome, dude. And I can't wait for is the Davidson one out? I haven't checked yet. Yes, I want all Doctor Who on Blu-ray. I do. Just in time for 4K, by the way. Like they come out with Blu-ray right when it's just like going out of, it's like for the first time on VHS, Doctor Who. Oh, by the way, we have DVDs now, and yeah. Uh, STD would still be a horrendous, stupid, shitty show if it wouldn't be labeled Trek. It would just be, it wouldn't be just upset Trek fans. So there's that. Yeah, it's at first I even made the argument like, well, if this is maybe, and this was early on in the recaps, comrade, it's like, if this was just a sci-fi show that didn't say Trek, maybe I'd be into it. No, I think it was a sucky show. And I just wouldn't watch it. Yeah, watch Orville. It's that simple. 2 words, watch Orville. Well, watch The Expanse, watch Orville. Mission Impossible Fallout came out today on home media. I think it's one of the best action movies of the past several years. I will watch it. If it came out on digital, I'm going to watch that tonight with the missus. Little movie night at the house. We'll make some popcorn. Alter Carbon was better than Westworld Season 2. Your God is Nowhere is 100% correct on that statement. Alter Carbon was one of the best things I saw this year. It's been a good, like we've gotten a lot of good stuff this year. And we're going to be doing our award show at the end, our meaningless award show at the end of the year. And got a couple big things coming up. December 7th is kind of the self-doxing stream, which will be fun. And then we have our 5-year anniversary on January 7th, which I'm planning some big stuff for. Of course, we got an Exozone coming up sometime soon. That'd be great. And of course, we're covering the next short Calypso, which is tomorrow night at 5:50 p.m. Pacific time. We'll be covering that. I think this is a good time as any to get the we've been going a while now. Get my Patreon out. I'm showing my Patreon video, but I'm going to keep reading your chat, guys. So, did I freeze? I hope I didn't freeze. Oh, boom, boom. There we go. Sorry. There, now it's going. And I'm reading the chat, but I'm closing some windows here too. Give me just a second. Too many windows get open, things get crazy. All right, so we are showing my Patreon video there, right? It's going okay, good. And these are our wonderful patrons. It's not up to date, where you actually get stuff. Okay, so I'm actually gathering up the packages now to go out, and it'll probably be before Christmas. You'll get all your packages. Some of you will get them sooner or later. The way it works is for $5 you get there's 3 comic books that used to be exclusive to my store. They were exclusive Comic Outpost covers. For the $5 level, you get that plus a bunch of exclusive content on the Patreon. And then if you do the $15 level, which is only going to be available for a limited time, I'm going to only do that $15 level for the rest of the year, and then it's gone. You get a what's in the box, which is like a Loot Crate box, except not filled with stupid shit, filled with like kind of like stuff that's behind me, like really good shit. Like the last one I set out actually had vintage Star Wars figures in it, right? That was pretty cool, right? And Daleks and stuff like that, and some comic books. And yeah, go to patreon.com/nerdrotic, check it out. You're also getting, I used to do that in lieu of giving you content because I didn't have time to give you content, but now I do. So you get 2 extra Nooners. An extra Nooner is always helpful. Tuesday and Thursday, you get a Nooner in the morning, and then you get a Hangout, which is going to be on Discord from now on. And yes, we have a Discord, but it's for the patrons. We're doing a Discord Hangout on Sundays in the morning, right before we see Doctor Who. And there you can see that's the 3 comic books you get on the $5 level. And this is a representation of what you get on the $15 level. It does include these comic books on the top left, but those action figures, it could be them or something else, but it's an action figure. And there's my awesome logo that apparently a cheese curd company called the Curd Nerds are using a logo that looks exactly like that, using the same yellow and everything. By the way, that yellow is taken from Star Trek's OG Star Trek, Captain Kirk's uniform there. Hope you enjoyed the John Belushi thumbnail that I put up for this one. That was the first time we've put up a thumbnail before we went on the air. So I'm very happy about that. Jez Oldfield, what's up? Yeah, so you get a bunch of extra content. Oh, and Expanse commentaries. I have recorded 2. They're going up very soon. Yes, and I'm doing a commentary for all the episodes leading up to season 4. Hopefully Dennis can join me on some of those. Right. Watched Ant-Man and the Wasp last night with my friend. Not as bad as I was led to believe, says CD Horde. It was okay. I wasn't crazy about it, but it was okay. I wouldn't watch it again. But I've watched Infinity War like 8 times. Yes, there's a bunch of illogical shit. The more you watch the movie, you're like, yeah, Doomcock pointed out on High School Council last night. It's like you could have teleported, you could have opened a teleport just around the Infinity Gauntlet and put it somewhere, or put Thanos in the middle of a sun. Yeah, it was. They had a lot. They still did a phenomenal job making that movie. They had to fit in so many characters. They just didn't have time. They should have maybe taken 3 or 4 years to make that movie, but they had too big of a cast to think about some of the logic leaps you have to take. But it's still fucking great. I love it. It's a comic book movie. It's a comic book movie. You can make up some shit like there's a limitation to that, or Thanos, so because he had the gauntlet, that wouldn't work on him, which you could say. I hate giving BBC my money. Love my classic Who, but no love for BBC. Yeah, Frag Minion. I have every Doctor Who episode digitally. I got that from one of the places I worked, so I didn't have to pay. Everyone that was available at the time, and beyond a little bit, I was able to get every Doctor Who episode and download it digitally. But I want to get hard copies of everything. Anything prior to the Tenet specials, just go with DVD. They didn't start shooting in the high def then. The transfers, pretty good. There is a Blu-ray set available that I have, but I don't play because it's worth like $1,000 now. And it was the Seventh Doctor, all 7 seasons with the little with the 11th Doctor's sonic screwdriver. I have that, but I do not open it. They are all Blu-ray. I have season 1 on Blu-ray. Yeah, the transfer is not that great. Captain Robert April, you're right. I have this as a collectible because it's hang on, drop that. This is awesome, and this is DVD. The book and it's great. I think it goes for like $300. It's not in perfect shape. I don't care. Fucking love this. That's all you need. If you just pony up for that, and then you get season 1 on Blu-ray, you're good. I'm gonna knock over a Dalek. I don't want to knock over a Dalek. And then this silly little gun. I said gun on YouTube. Are they gonna ban me now? If you're going to start Star Trek rewatch suggestions, I would go Balance of Terror in that hat. I am currently, oh God, I'm watching so much. It's ridiculous how much stuff I'm watching. I've never watched as much TV in my life, but I'm rewatching all the Star Trek to get prepared for, because I was not prepared when I did the recaps for the knowledge. Like your guys' Star Trek knowledge is fucking awesome, and it just floored me and impressed me, and I love that shit. I fucking love it. I love it when you guys know every little thing about it, and yeah, no sarcasm. I think that is so fucking cool, and that's what makes nerds fucking special. That's what makes us awesome. Loving stuff that much. It's stuff that we used to get so much shit for and still do. Yeah, dude, we have company come over. They take one look in this room, and I get the rolled eyes, or I get the, oh, that's cool. And then once in a while it comes in, somebody goes, that's cool, and I don't care. I so don't care. I stopped caring. I think maybe when I was 30, I stopped giving a shit about, flying my nerd flag. Not that I truly gave a shit. I used to be sensitive to it. I'm not anymore. I wear it with pride, with fucking pride. Um, oh yes, Malwinius. I'm gonna start doing that next video. My bad. The the PayPal tip jar. Yes. Uh, the super chats take 30%. They have been doing some really funky stuff with super chat that I've been quiet on because I'm doing my research. They don't give us a statement. So I have to literally go through and count them all and within a month and find out like, yeah, there's some facts I need to get out before I go half cocked on that. Uh, Gary Butler says, absolutely awesome room. Thank you. To right, proud nerds. Fuck yeah, man. I love action figures. I love toys. You can call them dolls. I don't care. That umbrella guy. Yeah, Streamlabs is something I should do. You're right. That umbrella guy, by the way, who came in the chat last time and was listening, and that was fucking awesome, by the way. And the DJD show, thanks. Thanks for coming in. That umbrella guy. I have to get some data together, and if he's interested, I'll ask to be on his channel. He has a bigger reach, and if he's okay with it, I'd love to talk with him. But it's proper to ask to be on. I'm finding out to ask to be on a channel rather than wait to be asked, because if you wait to be asked, you're gonna be waiting a long time. I think I think it's proper to ask to be on a channel. You got to swallow a little bit of pride. But I like Tug a lot. He got fucking doxxed. That's fucking bullshit. That's partially why I'm doing the self doxing thing. Is something very similar happened to me. It was before I was on YouTube. It was while I was it was after I sold the comic shop. Somebody wrote a letter to a place I worked, dishing some dirt on me. And there's dirt. There's plenty. There's plenty. I've talked about a lot of it here, but not all of it. Um, Now it's nothing horror. Well, I mean, it's bad, but it's nothing like, yeah, there's no, murder in my past or anything like that. Nothing dark. It was all, drug related crime. But yeah, there's stuff in my past that I'd rather you hear from me than somebody else. That's the way I'm going to see it. But that's December 7th, folks. Um, a dirty neck beard. Oh, I don't have a neck beard, Fragmanian. Well, I mean, it is. Is it a dirty neck beard? That's it. That's it. No, I don't have it growing on my neck. I don't. This is just off my chin. But that's it. You got me, Fragment. It's the dirty neckbeard scandal. um, was I the inspiration for Breaking Bad's Jesse? Maybe. No. Did we live a similar life? Maybe. My horrible drunken escapades still haunt me to this day. Pretty bad shit. Yeah, and it sucks how certain acts in your youth can haunt you for years and decades, and when I was just a kid. Everyone has skeletons in the closet. If they say they don't, there'll be dead bodies there. Damn right, Stephanie B. It's kind of like saying, I mean, like somebody saying they don't masturbate. It's like liar. Or don't go to porn on the internet. Liar. It's the evil beard. It is. It just crawled on my face one day and sat there. Oh, that sounded bad. Um, Nothing bad in my past, like murder. Just some meth cooking, allegedly. Well, bad is relative in this postmodern world we live in, right? um, they had it coming. I could start singing. What, Chicago? He had it coming. No, no skeletons or bodies. I only have a blow up doll in my closet. No skeletons or bodies. Kato Run. Is it a boy or a girl, Kato? Not that that should matter, but is it a boy or girl? uh, they have porn on the internet? Brent, they do. And I'm sure your friends in here can help you find some very good low price porn. I think it's time to oh wait a minute. Where did that fucking window go? Shit. God damn it, man. This is a bad day for looking at windows. It is time for me to eat. I am getting a little light. Well, I mean, more lightheaded than usual. You know what I'm saying? And let's get over here. Oh my God. There we go. Hey, that video's doing better. That's good. I wasn't sure how well that would do. Oh boy. Now I got to reload. If you were to lose the beard and keep the stash, it would definitely be a porn stash. Oh, fuck yeah. That'd be a baka wah wah porn stash. Oh man, I was sitting there playing while I was listening while I listen to live streams. I play my piece of shit bass over here, and I was trying to find the perfect like baka wah wah for porn. It's harder than you think. I've got a wah pedal too, but I think I got it. I think I got it down. I think maybe next live stream I'll do a baka wah wah next time we talk. It's because somehow every live streamer talks about porn. Have you noticed that? Like it ends like this better not be porn or like it's a thing. It really is. Breaking Bad movie in the works with series creator Vince Gilligan, also co-creator of Better Call Saul, says Cordell Fedival. Really? We did. Dennis reported here a million years ago that they were going to continue Breaking Bad, like they were going to have him live or something like that. I thought it was a joke. Is that for real? That'd be cool. I still have to make it, past the final, and then Doomcock and I need to talk about it because he says I'll be super disappointed, but I don't know. I haven't gotten there yet on Breaking Bad. I like Better Call Saul. Some people were pissed at the end of the season. I was okay. Quagmire disappeared when he found out about the internet porn and appeared a couple of months later with with an overtly muscular right hand. uh, the internet was built on porn and salt. Absolutely. Do I like the Hammer horror movie? Uh, like I haven't seen. I don't know. Hang on. Is it what I think it is? Hang on, let me look it up. Hammer Film Productions. Yeah, I thought you were talking about. Yes, I remember watching them as a kid, and they scared the crap out of me. And I've seen a couple. I'm not like the hugest fan, but I've liked what I've seen. But like horror is like my weakest subject. Yes, the Hammer Studio. Yes, I've seen those with like Christopher Lee and freaking am I getting that right? Christopher Lee was in the Hammer horror and so was Grand Moff Tarkin. Why am I Peter Cushing? Was that Hammer horror? Cuz those movies I liked. Back when you meant horror, you meant Hammer. Oh yeah. I'm interested in the guy who directed it is going to be doing the Time Machine and like doing a legit version of it. I love the Time Machine. I love that story so fucking much. I love the was it Rod Taylor, the OG movie. Love that one. I love it. Even kind of like the remake with what's his face from Memento. Oh God, don't say Sucker Punch, Apple Crow. Don't say Sucker Punch. You want to talk about PTSD? Fucking Sucker Punch. Yeah, the Alfred of Tim Burton's Batman was a former Hammer horror movie actor. He was great. Goo, his name is something Michael Goo or something like that. Had so much flair and style. Lee was Dracula and Cushing Van Helsing. That's right. I remember those movies. Yes. All right, kiddos, I'm gonna go. Time Machine could be really political if he wants to make it that way. It could, but let's hope. Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. If it's done right, that's fine. Michael Goo, yeah. It's Goo, right? Not Goff, or is it Goff? I never knew, so I just said Goo. Sucker Punch. Yeah, fuck no. Sucker Punch. No Sucker Punch. He is also in classic Doctor Who episode. Yes, he plays the toy guy. The you know what I'm talking about. Yes, he was in a classic Doctor Who that was lost for a while, or second Doctor. H.G. Wells, man, fucking H.G. Wells. All right, kids. I'm gonna let you go there. We got the viewer count going down anyway. Plus my blood sugar count is going down. I'm gonna go have some avocados, get some food. The Time Machine remake was great until the shark jump moment at the end when Guy Pearce says, "Yes, what if?" after the brilliant and true speech by Jeremy Irons. Yep. First Doctor, thank you, Fragminion. Doors and Corners, everybody. It's pronounced Goff. Thank you, Stephanie Little Page. I never knew, so I just said Goo. So it's Michael Goff. There we go. And I've been saying that wrong for fucking 2 decades. Kind of like Thanos. I just say fucking Thanos. That's what I've been saying since I was a kid. Now it's Thanos. Whatever. And you know what? Doomcock, I caught him doing that too, which is weird. Bye, everybody. Everybody used to say Princess Leia. Princess Leia. Even then, when they said Leia in the movie, everybody my age, when we were kids, called her Princess Leia. I know it's wrong, but just one of those things. All right, everybody, have a great day. Do not believe the show media. I would, believe what you think. Look at the facts presented, but make sure to watch for those little buzzwords like believe and reportedly and possibly that don't make a definite statement. Okay, they just make it. They just allude to this impossible, and then if you have the time, because a lot of people don't check the referring article, because a lot of times these shill media places refer to their own shit, which really isn't referring to much. And if you're gonna listen to them just because you like your brand, that's fine. But the fact is, this article that was a response to Midnight's Edge was total bullshit because it referred to a blog that said reportedly and maybe. It didn't state anything as fact. Anything. So it's not a actual response. It was just a response of perception, which is reality these days. I know. But remember also to forget all that bullshit and try to be happy and be nice and have a good day. All right. And go watch something you like and try and I'll say this for myself. We'll try not to seek out the negative. If, and I don't. And I will see you guys Friday night for Friday Night Tights. Please go to nerdrotic.com. Our live schedule is on the right-hand side of the website. And our next show is Titans. Our next show is Titans. That will be no, I'm wrong. Sorry. Star Trek Shorts, Calypso, tomorrow night, 5:50 p.m., then followed by Titans. Guess who's joining me for Titans? Dennis. Dennis has a day off, so he'll be with me for Titans. Then, of course, Friday Night Tights, Doctor Who, and it all cycles back again. You guys are the best chat on YouTube, and I am so grateful for you. Thank you for all the new subscribers, and thank you for all the patrons and all the super chats. Holy crap, I almost forgot. I'm sorry, I'm going to be here for another second because I have to thank the super chats. That's what I was going to do, and I know I was a great exit too, right? No. Mine are always work. This is like saying goodbye to my mother on the phone. My mom will say goodbye, and it's like 15 more minutes on the phone. I admit it. I'm like that. We have a $2 super chat from Steele Johnson, $2 super chat from Steele Johnson, Mr. Roboto, a $2 super chat, 50 fucking dollars from Tamarox. Hail Tamarox. Thank you so much. Mr. Roboto, $2, Silhouetted Animator, $5, Brent Newman, €5, sculpted leather art by Viking Bitch. Please check out her channel. She's awesome. She provides our paddles that Dennis and I spank each other with constantly. Two Great White North dollars. Fragminion, $5. And Brent Newman, €2. You guys are awesome. Bye, everybody. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness.